like radiation, and that's like, the from an atomic nuclei standpoint, which is like the shortest wavelength. Like
That's
you have to
only if
consider
you,
that. You have to consider the radiation for the gamma rays.
that's only what if we're using certain methods.
Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your hosts SMG Clicks and Omar. This won't be a talk night. Today we're just gonna be debating. This is our first live stream, so please forgive us for anything that doesn't sound right or something that has to be done better. Omar, can you please say hi?
The subject is
Hey guys, welcome.
by people.
Right now we're
Yeah,
looking
I-
at
I-
a, we're doing something for the first time. We're doing a Discord debate live stream, and the current topic is about space and I believe the advancement of technology. So we'll be commentating over this
Big
and
green
perhaps
button on the
participating in
top.
the
I think it's great.
conversation as it
Go to the
evolves.
debate waiting list and react to the bot message.
Alright, so
So
please
just-
guys,
so
we
I guess
will
we're gonna, like,
just
start with this
just please enjoy the
conversation in
stream and
terms
have a
of
chill.
space.
Yeah.
But for my
If you
closing
would like to
statement for this
join
current topic, we're
the
gonna move on to
debate,
the next
we
one in,
can
like,
send you the
less than
invite
30
link.
seconds.
Yeah,
All I have
alright,
to
let's
say
see.
is the microwave concept.
Yeah.
It delivers radiation, right?
Yeah.
That's why you close it, right? The door.
Yeah.
It delivers
That's why you
radiation,
close
right?
it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you open it.
To protect
Oh no.
to protect you from radiation, right?
No, not really. It's just containing the heat there. And
Yeah,
the
it's just
microwaves.
keeping the heat in, so yeah.
Okay, so it's like a form of insulation. Now, if you apply that same concept to what you were talking about, it's gonna hurt the people because you're not insulating it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't you understand the concept behind quantum computing, but whatever. But let me just finish off with my statement. Is like back to the topic we're talking about with quantum computing. Well, it's gonna take a couple decades to fully transition into at least a couple decades into a quantum computer based like internet. But like when we get there, there's gonna be a lot of new things, maybe even including AI.
100%, 100%. Like advanced AI robots.
I don't
That's
think
true.
I don't think computers can improve without the technology of AI, in my opinion. I think AI is
Yeah.
like a must.
Self-learning machines, yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sci-fi movies out there where the robots have actualization, awareness. Yeah, self-awareness.
I watched
And-
an episode of South Park like that today.
Okay, so are you familiar with Cyberdyne Systems?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, so Cyberdyne Systems, what they did was they did a self-awareness
I
robot.
think we're supposed to continue on to the next one, though.
Yeah, I have
I think our listeners might not like this one.
I have a topic idea. So,
All right, go ahead.
You guys have heard of Apophis, right?
Oh, what?
Apophis?
Sorry, what?
What is
No,
that?
no.
The asteroid the size of Texas.
Right, so Omar, what did
on
you think
track.
of that?
No, let's just get
Whole
off the space because I don't
Yeah,
think a lot
okay.
of our readers will
Or
understand.
quantum
what we're talking
computing.
about.
I was more interested in like how the debates are going towards AI. If I had a chance, I would have like
Politics.
if they like
Only
started
talk about the current situation
talking
in
about
Israel.
how AI can get self-realization. I would have come in and presented the Chinese room experiment where this is a thought experiment that proves that AI, no matter how good it gets at simulating humans, it will never really be as human as us or as
Yeah.
self-actualizing as us.
Because emotions will never be a factor when it comes to robots, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Buddhism,
Yeah.
Buddhism.
I guarantee a lot of people
let's
in
see what they're
here
talking about
who are
now.
watching don't even know about Buddhism and how they follow.
Oh, all right. Progressive tax. All right, let's go with that.
Okay, so Buddhism.
So, isn't progressive tax?
No, I'm saying Buddhism. It's a perfect topic so people could learn.
Oh, I thought you
But that's
said
not
like.
really a debate topic. I feel like.
So
that's the whole point. Yeah.
So there are two seculars
Mm.
with
Well,
Buddhism. There's
I'm
you
a
have the
Buddhist, so
Siddhartha.
can I explain it?
Well, the thing is, I probably know more about
Yeah,
this
you probably know
religion.
more about. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So can I continue?
I hate kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
hey guys, welcome
So
to the TTNP.
there are many seculars,
yeah. That guy's too excited.
right? Just like how Christians have a lot of denominations, such as Protestant,
Presbyterian,
Lutheran, Seventh Day Adventist.
By the way, guys, if you haven't realized, when I talk with Omar, like, directly, I do mute the Discord just so we can understand each other. But I put it on, I return back the audio when we stop talking, basically.
Chinese Buddhist.
So I want everyone to go on Google, type in Buddhism China. And if you look at Buddhism China, 18.2% to 20% of this population adheres to Buddhism. And that's a big chunk.
So like 200 something million.
Okay. And
Doesn't-
Pew...
Doesn't China have the largest, the largest or second largest population? So 20% of that would be around 200 million.
No, no, it's not.
Exactly.
It's 1 point. Isn't China like 1.4 billion?
No,
No,
it's
it's
bigger
1.3.
What is the largest? I think it's bigger than India.
No, it's not.
No,
It's not.
yeah.
Oh, it currently is.
No, no,
currently.
no.
Yeah,
260.
currently it is bigger than
China
There's
has
260
1.4 billion as of
No,
2019.
no, no, no.
Okay,
So
okay.
mine was
There
correct.
is
So that would be
260 million.
According
260 million
to Time Magazine, Buddhism is growing in China but remains in a legal limbo. Do you understand why?
Why?
pretty. Wasn't it because the
I'll be back.
The purgatory.
Yeah. My grandfather is a Buddhist, but not Chinese Buddhism though.
So
The,
how does it differ from country to country?
So there's a lot of differences, just mainly in the beliefs, but like the basic moral code and all the like the stuff that they do with like the incense and the way you, I forget, like what we did was like when you I don't know whether this is only in Korea or it's in other countries, but when we pray to our ancestors, we bow, like we go down on the floor and we kneel, and we do that 2 times for people that are dead. I think it's 3 times for people who are not dead. I don't even know why, but like, okay. I think it's a Buddhism thing. I'm not even sure though.
Yeah, so in regards to, the Chinese religious revival, we're most looking through both communism and capitalism. And they add equate to this meaning in the Chinese lives that have been, well documented. Are you guys familiar with Confucius?
I will be showing some of the terms. I will, as you can see, there's like a Google search. I do search for the words that, like communism, for example, just so you guys can keep up if you don't know the meaning. All right, back to the stream.
There's a
So
lot of
that
impact
Asia,
on Korea.
Asia's
Korea.
neighboring countries, China, India,
Korea,
North Korea, South Korea,
South Korea.
Malaysia, but not the Philippines. Can anyone tell me why not the Philippines?
They're an
pretty sure-
island. I don't know.
No, because the reason why the
Yes.
Philippines don't adhere to the Chinese culture is because 300 centuries ago, they were invaded by Spain. So they were mostly influenced by
300
what?
centuries ago?
300
Oh, you
years
said
ago.
Yeah.
So do you understand why?
Yeah. There's a good, just to let you know, guys. Sweet Sultan had a good question in the debate questions.
Yeah, okay. And also, do you know why they don't adhere to the Chinese culture?
Why?
Well,
It's because of Spain. Spain invaded them 300 years ago and put in their religious doctrine and their Catholic doctrine into them.
Wasn't there a U.S. puppet government before? After
Yes.
that? After that?
It became a U.S. territory up until the 1950s, or excuse me, yes, the late 40s,
I'm pretty sure it's
early
also
50s.
because of American influence that, a little bit at least, they don't follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were
There
basically
was a
like
little
Puerto
Christian
Rico.
too. Yeah. America's always been like a very big importer, exporter of culture.
But the official statistics don't exist because the Pew Research Center says it estimates some 245 million Buddhists in China. Those are around 18% of the total natural population. Can you believe that? They make up 18%, not 20, 18.
Jeez.
That's a chunk, right?
Yeah.
So let
me
that
just
sink
search
in.
up Korea, religious demographics. Let me check that too.
By which one?
Yeah.
I still kind of don't see where this conversation is
I don't see where
going.
the debate is, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I agree. I don't understand.
I think
Chinese
he's
Buddhism.
more like trying to educate,
Yeah,
which is
this is
which is
very
fine.
interesting. I found
But
but we want some. Yeah.
probably
no, I don't find it very
7.9%
interesting.
are Catholic. Other is 0.8%. Korean Buddhism is 15.5%. Protestantism is almost 20%, 19.7%. And no religion, agnostics, atheists, they're 56.1%. So there's a lot of agnostics and atheists in South Korea. It's a pretty modernized and technologized country, yeah.
Wait, so is South Korea a secular country
He's
then?
making the insinuation
It's
that
a
Secular?
largely secular
he
country.
said they're secular, like atheist or like agnostic, and then immediately jumped into, oh, they're pretty advanced
They're
and
pretty
like they're doing
advanced.
pretty
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, their movies are good. Yeah.
Like
They,
that's
But
intentional.
are you
Yeah.
aware
He's
of
making
the,
he has his
let's-
agenda.
moving
That's
on with
fine.
that,
But
we have the Palamite
because
theology. So there's a distinction between the essence and the energies of God. And this was formed by Gregory Palamas as part of his defense by the, I want to say, the monastic practice.
You mean
And
like the monarchy?
Yeah, so this has a big correlation with the Chinese Buddhism. That's why more people are converting to Buddhism than any other religion. Do you know why?
I don't know.
I forget.
As a Buddhist, can I tell you why I converted?
No, I'll tell you why. The main reason people convert from their religion to Buddhism.
Why?
It's because Buddhism doesn't have a god.
That's why I converted.
Yes, that's the
There's
main
no-
reason.
so
There's only Buddhas.
There's an essence and
so-
energy distinction.
Because I'm a secular
okay.
Buddhist.
So why is not having a god like something that attracts people from other religions?
Well,
So there's the reason why, there studies have shown if you believe in a higher being, that is good. Like there's nothing wrong with you. But other studies have shown that people feel pressured. So if they join a religious secular, religion such as Buddhism, they're with a group of people that believe in the same practices as they do. They're in a good environment, but they don't have a higher being they don't feel pressured.
and in Buddhism,
They become this.
What do you think about that?
It's
see what-
interesting. People not having a higher power. It's
I feel like there's no one keeping us in check. I feel like that kind of defeats
might switch to Buddhism because
the idea of religion, kind of. It's like, what are you believing in then?
I think it's a belief in the community and in a set of moral values. Without the belief that these moral values have come from a divine source, and thus they cannot be changed or challenged.
Yeah.
And people love to challenge religion, and there are people constantly challenging religion
Yeah.
from a moral standpoint as well. So Buddhism presents itself as an option where you can have the community, you can have
The
moral
morals, but without
thing.
a high power.
Yeah,
Well,
so you
okay.
basically can't be criticized, and if you're
Yeah.
criticized for anything, you can just be like, okay, I'll just change myself. I'm not pressured to stick to any specific thing. Now, personally, I think that's not a good thing, but like that's just me.
Yeah, it's just, I agree, I totally agree.
I don't understand about this though.
Yeah, go ahead, ask me.
One of my biggest Buddhist questions. So, if you reincarnate into like a pig, for example, if you're a good pig, can you become a human?
Okay, so here's the
I think-
dealio. No, here's the dealio. I used to study this back in the day.
At least in Korea.
The idea of reincarnation is what you did in that life. So, for example, if you were first born as a wolf and you did good things as a wolf, you will be rewarded as a human. Now, if you are a human in this life and you did terrible things and you die, you may be turned into something that is not as rewarding as your former self. That is what reincarnation is in Buddhism. That's what they believe in.
So, if Buddhism is true, right now we all had a
Okay,
good
so
life.
this is a topic where
Essentially, yes.
I'm a little bit more interested in, if I'm being honest.
Essentially, yes.
I wish to ask why. Actually, two things actually. One, how do you in this order? Please answer. I think that I want to ask why how do you get like more souls because population always grows.
Yeah,
Well, when
that's
someone
a
So
someone
it's a-
dies,
Yeah.
and someone's born, someone dies like every second.
so are you familiar with Samsara?
Never heard of her.
I've heard of it.
So Samsara is not a person. It's
Oh,
actually
sorry. Sorry.
it's an idea. Samsara, Samsara. It's what reincarnation is to the Buddhism. It's the cycle to
Hello? Did it
yes.
just
What
cut
happened?
out or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
What,
it
what,
did.
what did I say? What was the last thing you heard me say?
The last thing I heard you say
Samsara.
was something about what Sam and Sarah is.
Yes, no. So Samsara
What?
is the existence after life, and a cycle is considered to be.
So guys, I just showed you the
DUKKHA.
definition of samsara. If
You can look this
you were
up, boys
confused.
and girls. Go on Google, type in DUKKHA, and it's known as unsatisfactory and painful. Because once you get reincarnated, it burns your soul, apparently.
What
This
proof
this,
is there of that? Of
There's no-
reincarnation?
there's no proof.
So,
There's
so
no
is this
proof
a
at all.
theory, or is it actually?
Yeah, it's just a theory in Buddhism. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mercy, I have a
Am
question.
I Buddhism? Of course not.
Mercy, I
I
have a
mean,
question.
it is
Because
interesting.
there's
but
no logical explanation.
no,
There's
like,
no bridging the gap of
proof.
the
Mhm.
narrative world
there are
and the
plot
objective
holes
world.
that
Exactly.
I don't
so
think
it's-
could be answered really.
Exactly.
How often
There's
does the
much to be
subject
desired.
change in these debates?
Every 30 minutes or so.
Depends, yeah.
Okay.
Where,
This
depends.
is the last.
I mean,
where's
I
humanist?
have a. Somebody asked me a very
no,
good
no.
question. I don't know if you guys want to switch topics.
Someone asked to be a
Can I
very
We
just
need
ask this
humanists.
last question to Renegade? Because I actually want to know about this. The second question I had.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Oh, so my question was, so I forget how this was happened, but how do you become a Buddha?
How do you become a Buddha? Excuse me.
Yes.
A monk? Or
Oh, interesting. I'm actually don't. I actually
should-
don't
How do
know
you
about this.
obtain ascension to status of a Buddha?
The thing is, anyone can become a Buddhist, but not a Buddha. So there are monks.
Buddha is a Buddha.
monks.
Buddha is like a person. Not really. Not really like a rank.
So
he wasn't a god
It's
either.
not-
He was
It's
just
not like
Yeah.
pastor. It's not like a pastor.
yeah, it's
Or
not
you
a
can go to
priest.
seminary or seminary school or something like
because
that.
I don't consider Buddhism as a religion, so really I
Jesus.
consider it more of a philosophy to me.
Exactly.
Therefore, it's
What
not
is
really-
my guy on
It's a
about?
way of life. It's not a religion.
Because like
Wait.
my religion. If I had to have a
Religion is way
religion
of
But-
that wasn't Buddhism, I'm agnostic.
But you said it's a religion at the start of the whole
It's a
conversation.
religion in theory, but in practice, it's not.
Yeah.
It's more of a way of life than a religion.
What are these guys?
Philosophical
Oh my
direction in
god, these
life,
guys
a
are
direction in life,
confused.
like a manuscript, but it's not a religion.
So essentially, it's giving you like the
Alright.
way to do things, but there is no afterlife, nor is there a real God. So
There
there
is
is no.
reincarnation.
There is, huh? Reincarnation is not a God, though. You have
There's
to
the
understand that.
afterlife though. 'cause you-
Yeah, but there's no mention of the afterlife. You just reincarnate a certain amount of times.
Yeah.
But like infinite, that's not an afterlife.
Exactly.
Because of the Buddha's moral code and like the things about afterlife it talks about, it's one of the religions I actually agree with in many ways. Actually, I agree with many of the things there. I may not necessarily believe in a lot of the things, but I agree with many
What
of the
do
views.
you believe in?
I feel like
I
You
don't
want, like, the
believe
word
in
belief.
anything
I
until
feel
there
like
is.
they're kind of contradicting
They don't like the word
themselves.
belief.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, but I feel like they're kind of contradicting themselves. You know, like he says Buddhism is a religion, but then says
Wait,
on
what?
it's a way of living. It's not a religion. Like
Correct.
you know. So
Could
what
you
is it
explain
exactly?
how?
So essentially, a bunch of technological experts and coding experts put in all the values of God, and they set the code, and the computer was able
Hold
to
on.
analyze if it worked
That's
or not.
where
I
you're,
will,
you're. That's where
I
you're.
will send you the code. I will send you the code and the translation
So-
for the code.
Hold on. You're I think you're confusing something.
Nope.
How
Nope. Let
how
me send it to you. I'll send it to you right now.
Okay,
Send
so
it on
well,
public chat.
how do you know that you know all the values of God?
So
Because
he's
you
all
can put
loving?
it you can put it within the hold on, let me find it. For a
Wait,
sec.
so what does
You
these
can-
values do? What
How
do
do you
So
know that
essentially-
God is not outside the universe and outside of
Yes,
human
you can,
understanding?
but there are things that you could do to see if it's real. For instance, you put a certain amount of things in it. We know the characteristics of God already. That's what's given into us in the Bible, right? So if it's widely agreed
so
on
that's
there, all
something
you just gotta
biblical.
do is put in the
Yeah, I
values
don't think
per
we have much
trait of God.
information on
Let
this.
me
Oh,
find it real quick.
IKEA, I have a question for you.
Yes.
This is a question I ask a
By
lot.
the way, me and Omar are Muslim.
This is a question I ask a lot of
If it
Christians,
wasn't
right?
clarified.
Are your
Okay.
parents both Christian?
Yes.
If they were not Christian, would you still be Christian?
Yes, I would.
Are you certain?
Yes, because I had the choice not to go to church.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
so well, going back
This
to what we
karma,
were
this
talking
karma
about.
guy is actually.
I'm gonna repost it in media. Check media. So this
yeah.
was the
Guys,
exact
this
code.
IKEA, this karma guy keeps spamming me to ask. He wants to be added to the speaker thing. He says he has info on the Buddhist thing, and we're all wrong or something.
No, he can do it via waiting list, and we'll add it in once
Oh
we
yeah, if you want to
start
change,
offering people.
we're gonna change the topic, right? The question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's
Let's see something
A
from
girl
debate
asked
questions.
if Jesus
Hold on.
was a progressive. That's a good question. If
um,
Jesus would be
Yeah,
progressive.
would
what
you-
is a
So-
progressive?
What?
What is a progressive by definition?
Or progressive, like a democratic socialist, basically.
What is? Can
What?
you define it? Please?
define it?
Like someone who believes, like, in progressive tax. You know what that is?
Can you define it, bro?
Progressive tax?
No.
No,
We're asking.
We're asking you for the definition of a progressive.
Yeah, can you
We're
tell us
Asking
that?
about the
The
tax
exact definition.
Correct.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna
What
look that
else? So you don't even know what it means.
Well, no, they believe in progressive tax. Alright, progressive is.
That's
Progressive
modern
is-
progressive.
Yeah.
That's modern progressive.
So, are you when you refer to progressive, are you referring to the
Communism is a
Bernie?
political philosophy in support of social affirm.
Okay, so communism.
No,
Yeah,
it's not
no.
communism at all. It's not communism at all.
No,
Alright,
not really. Then. By
Here's how.
definition, no,
Here's
he
what
wasn't.
some modern day progressives think. Well, Bernie Sanders. I don't really believe in. I'm progressive, but I don't really believe in Bernie Sanders because his idea, like, he's kind of like too cuckoo. But like, for example, taxing the rich.
Bro,
All
this
right.
kid.
Yes, no, that's not true. No, then no.
Yeah,
Not even close.
not close.
Nope.
No,
That's not true.
Far from it. To be honest.
absolutely not.
Oh, for
Jesus
what?
tells you to pay taxes.
Oh yeah, I'm not wondering if Jesus.
Can I
Someone
can
just
I
asked
ask
that.
you guys a question? All of you guys.
Yes.
Do you guys believe in young Earth creationism?
What's that?
What is that?
I don't know what
What
that
is
is.
that?
I don't think I believe in it.
What?
Oh, is it that
You don't-
the Earth was created 6,000 years ago? Blah blah blah. blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay.
So this is
Huh?
what I'm thinking. To
What?
God, it
What are
might
you-
be like years, but for us, it would be
What?
billions of years.
Well,
You have to understand that.
I'm just-
God-
I can understand.
I'm just
measure
learning
of
what it is
time
here.
for God is completely.
I'm saying
different
yeah. I'm
than
learning
us.
what it is. I don't
Centuries
understand
and
what it is.
billions and billions of years has gone by.
When you're learning, you say okay, not yeah. Yeah is an
Oh,
agreement.
God.
okay. So
the
do you agree with what he said?
A blink of an eye for an angel is like 1,000 years. Right? That's how.
From
how
a
we
it
need to
depends.
start
Like,
basing up our
is it
measurements.
6,000 human years? No. Is it? We don't know what kind of
Biblically,
So
yeah.
time framework God works with.
Yeah.
So, but in the context of 6,000 years, as we understand years, then no.
Yes, for it be an extended amount of time for us.
That'd be like 2 point something million years.
Correct. So now, if we take that logic and we apply it to a supernatural being, aka God, it would stand to reason that that would make the most logical sense.
Does that make sense?
Doesn't make sense to you?
Okay. So,
Cool.
progressives, like to think, with these new ideas, but the main fallacy in their argument is they never bring up the history or the past of when that concept they want to use for this current society has been implemented in other societies and it has not worked. Okay, we can relate this to socialism. They want to implement socialism in America. But
well, not really. Nowadays, we're not really socialist. They're more democratic socialists, which isn't.
Democratic socialism. Democratic socialism is communism.
It's not communism, at all.
Yes, it is. So.
It's not. Are you a democratic socialist?
There's a difference between socialism and communism.
Here's the scale. There's the communism is one side.
The thing
capitalism is the other. Socialism is in the middle, and in between socialism and
But
capitalism.
socialism is not the middle.
Well, that's what the graph said. Where
are you getting your information? Where are you getting your
some YouTube
BuzzFeed?
video.
Are you kidding me?
Some
BuzzFeed?
some YouTube video.
BuzzFeed.
The main
BuzzFeed
difference.
unsolved,
Hold on.
BuzzFeed
According to thoughtcode.com. Hold on. So essentially, the main difference is that under communism, most property and economic resources are owned and controlled by the state, rather than the individual citizen. Under socialism, all citizens share equally in economic resources as allocated by the democratically elected government. That's the difference.
It's extremely different.
That's the difference. Now, what you could say is that, maybe you can say that communism is a step above socialism, but you have to understand the difference in between.
I personally advocate for
Darman, we need to break something down. How old are you?
I am 13, turning 14 in 2 months.
Okay, so you're just getting started and talking about debates and all, right?
Well, my parents are lawyers, so.
Okay, so your parents know this concept.
I'm only 13.
So when you get your information, it has to be from a reputable, non-biased source.
No, I'm just gonna say that it's not communism though. So.
You understand where I'm coming from?
But you still.
If you cite something from an unreputable source like BuzzFeed and you bring that into a debate, people are just gonna laugh at you.
It's pointless.
Okay, sorry. All right, can I say something can I give you a reason why it's not communism though?
The thing is, socialism has been implemented into Venezuela, into Cuba.
Here's how it works.
That's
no.
There's elements of social.
There's difference between democratic socialism and socialism. So hear me out. So you guys heard the political compass, right?
Yeah. You got the left and the right.
Left, right. There's left libertarian, right libertarian, left authoritarian, and right authoritarian. Most people are right authoritarian. But
I don't like
think that any of them are right.
I don't know.
No one in the American political spectrum, no one's right. All of them are wrong in one way or another.
Extreme.
All of them, all of them lack something.
As a whole style.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Gray area.
Like whatever you find here, the other side is lacking, and vice versa. So it's just
Isn't left, like for example, this is just.
Personally, I'm not a fan of politics. If I'm being honest, I'm more of a fan of like religious debates. But
Socialism's come out as left libertarian. Most communists comes out of left authoritarian.
So the thing that we need to decipher here is these ideologies and practices that some politicians want to implement into society. Can it work in America?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one? Which one?
You mean like socialism, capitalism, or?
Yeah, which one? Yeah, which one would work?
Capitalism or socialism? Not communism.
Why socialism?
Well, I'd say more democratic socialism than capitalism.
Okay, we need to answer why. We don't need you to keep on changing.
Yeah.
Well, democratic.
Because you need to stick to one and give your reasoning behind it.
Democratic socialism. Here's why. All right.
Okay. So with democratic socialism, like what IKEA said, is that everybody has an equal share of pay, an equal share of distribution. Now, let me put this into...
No! Democratic socialists believe the rich are taxed high. Okay?
That's only part of it. That's only part of it, Dharma.
So, Darman, you just said that in democratic socialism, the rich are taxed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you say they're taxed, I'm assuming they're taxed heavily.
Yes.
How much percentage are they being taxed, and how much are they earning per year
No, that's actually a
Well,
good
it
question.
depends.
to be considered rich?
Hold on. I have a
because
statistic
because
Uh,
wait one sec, IKEA.
Okay.
Because the word rich
I don't know. Again, this
is
conversation
completely
does not
subjective
interest
to
me because
everybody.
in our religion we know that
Earning $100,000
just
is
2.5% of
considered to be
zakah
rich. Earning
every
50,000 is considered to be
every year.
Mm-hmm.
2.5% of your wealth for everyone. So if you own a billion, you'll be paying like I think 2.5 million.
Yeah.
If I'm
Yeah.
no, wait,
Wait,
100 million,
200
you're paying
million,
2.5
250
million.
million. If you have a
Yeah,
billion, whatever. Yeah, but I get your point.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
if you have a billion, it would be 25 million.
Yeah, true.
If you have $1 in your account, you don't
You don't have
pay
to pay.
zakah or
Yeah,
tax
yeah.
because you don't have enough to get
Implications
past
what
the
you do.
minimum
Let's
threshold
say
where
somebody.
where you start being required to actually pay the zakah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a minimum.
Mm-hmm. So what would that minimum be? $10?
So like poor people don't get their money,
Yeah.
like you know.
400,000. Yeah, 458,000. Yeah, that's how much they would be earning out of the 1 million. Now, would it work in theory? Yes. In practice, no, because you have to understand these are the same people who are making a lot of the large business and decisions that the company, large scale companies. Let's say, for instance, democratic socialism, Bill Gates, right?
Yeah.
Bill Gates would get a significant cut. Like most of the cuts he would be doing could fund different parts of the U.S. government because of the extreme taxes that are being proposed.
He has
Mhm.
So
more
you
money than he
understand?
needs.
No, there's a
That's not the
difference.
point.
That's
That's
the
not the
difference.
point.
What he's earning and what he rightfully earned is getting cut because a bunch of different people think he shouldn't be getting that money.
And
I
so
think
with
he should
Darman,
because
what he's
he's
saying,
using it well.
yeah. So Darman, what he's trying to say is this, in simplest terms, for IKEA and for you, so you understand what IKEA is trying to say.
Yes.
The harder you work in America, right, the more money you earn, right?
And
Can we
that's called
agree on that?
capitalism.
That's
The more
no,
tax you will have.
No.
What I'm saying this. I'm breaking it down for you in layman's terms, Darwin. The harder you work, you earn more money, right? Can we agree on that?
Nope.
Okay.
Of course.
Unless you're
So,
born into it. You
okay.
don't work a day in your life, and that's why
Okay.
you should be taxed
Okay,
higher.
but
not
we're
the
not.
point.
Oh my God.
That's not how most people work.
Okay,
So
so
let him finish.
we both agree on the harder you work in America, the more money you get. So
Yeah.
you climb the tax bracket, right? After you climb that tax bracket, you're considered a higher category in the tax bracket. So let's say you're earning $100,000 a year. You're going to be taxed more because you're earning $100,000 a year. Now, once you hit $1,000,000 a year, you're going to be taxed more than 50% of your earnings. So, since these people are working very hard to supply their families, their food, their shelter, do you think it's right for them? Do you think it's right for the American dream? The harder you work in America, the more taxed you get.
The thing is,
I think it's fair, but
having
just
such
not
taxes,
as
think
much as it
they
is
would,
currently.
if the government uses them correctly, they can technically be put into better education, better health care, whatever,
roads
anything
and
that
whatever. Yeah.
increases, like the quality of life in the country will
Mhm.
increase to an extent
Yeah.
that, like,
It's worth it, kind of. Oh, it's like.
In life, and they finally made it. Now, all of a sudden, with democratic socialism, they're getting taxed more than 50% of their earnings.
That's the issue with socialism.
Is that fair, Darman?
but again, Islam has the thing where the taxation or the zakah rate doesn't go beyond 2.5%.
Mhm.
It's so in a way we agree with the point of like 50% is way too much to be
Yeah.
taken away from someone.
Mhm.
But also there's a minimum amount that should be given consistently and
Without.
and the government should be using it correctly if it's
Mhm.
being given to the government.
Yeah.
of our actions if we're actually going to bring this to fruition. So
I'm
how
gonna
What
much
if-
would we tax?
What is the straight tax right now in America?
So I'm gonna give you an analogy, Darman,
It's
so
like
you
30%.
understand. I'm not gonna use big terminologies for you.
Say around 40% should be the thing.
So Darman,
Whoa.
are you familiar with?
And
Whoa.
that's for that. No, that's not for people making over
40%.
100K a year. No, like people who make like $500,000 a year.
No, that's the extreme minority. You're,
Yeah, that's
you're
Who makes
confusing
$500,000 a year? Like barely.
only
Yeah, they'll-
professionals. Like some
That
of the
means
people I
they'll be
know, very
making
few people I know
200,000
are
a
trained
year.
professionals, and they maybe get 200K.
Okay,
But like
Darman,
only
Darman,
the best of the best.
Exactly. Yeah.
Darman.
So
So it relates back to the.
Darwin, like,
Are you
he's
familiar with that?
looking at the minority of people. He's not actually trying to analyze. You know, not a lot of people make 500K a year. You know,
Honestly, that kid is being influenced by people and things, and
he's too young. Yeah, he's being brainwashed. I feel like kind of.
yeah.
Next, I'm gonna give you a problem. So are you familiar with Apple?
Yes, I invest in Apple.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
so
making money off.
so early 2000s, you had
Okay.
today is 2000. Have the iPhone 12.
Best
phone around.
Okay, in terms of the iPhone 1 and the iPhone 12, if both of them were $5 and all of the iPhones that were made between iPhone 1 and iPhone 12 were worth $5, which one would you buy?
Well, I'd buy the iPhone 12,
How come you won't buy the iPhone 1? It's worth $5.
but they're all worth $5.
Exactly. Exactly. So if they're all
But
worth
they're-
$5, the person who's making the iPhone, are they receiving any money?
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Are they making profit? That's what I'm saying.
Probably not.
That's socialism. No one's making profit.
I'm saying though.
It's an equal share. So
But
each
if
iPhone.
socialism makes it. Here's what. Can I tell you a reason why socialism is good? Real quick.
I mean, what
Oh.
reason why?
Give us one reason.
If socialism.
From a good
Hear me out,
source.
alright?
Give us one reason why that doesn't
Had the-
also come with other problems.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, what
That's the kicker.
socialism could make. You guys have heard of. You guys have all seen that graph on your books in school. The equality.
I'm pretty sure all of us have seen a graph on our book in school.
It's the equality versus equality graph with the people in the baseball game.
Equality versus equity.
Okay.
are you
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Sorry.
so
I
Darman,
bad
Darman.
pronouncing stuff.
Darman.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen the baseball game and those people and like? there's a
What
guy
does
who-
that have to do with this?
Hear me out. Hear me out. The progressive.
it.
This tax. All right. Sooner or later, the rich, with all this tax, can start becoming equal to the people who are middle class, and that money can go to lower class people, and all of a sudden, everybody's equal. This is not
No, that's
communism.
not-
No.
That's not gonna-
See,
that's
Darman,
what-
Darman.
hold on,
Wait,
hold on, let me-
no,
let me-
stop. Wait. So, Darman, you're telling me the top 1% of America that's making over $500,000.
Like, oh, that's just an example. I'm like saying like.
Okay,
the
I
rich.
know the rich. So the rich is the top 1% of the bracket.
At this
Why
point, I
should
think
they-
we should change the name of the stream to not religious.
Not, yeah. I think they'll change the debate after a bit. Like, they're almost.
Perhaps.
Class.
Well, some people are, for example, hear me out. A poor woman, okay?
Why does he sound like he's crying?
She's from
I don't understand.
I
Grant.
don't know.
She works multiple jobs to support her
Hold
children.
on. I'm an immigrant. That's not fair.
Sorry.
That's
I'm a
not
second
fair.
generation immigrant.
So
Yes.
Darman,
Thank you.
Darman, the thing is this: the closing statement is really this.
I feel bad now, safety. I feel bad, really bad.
Yeah. So Darman, the closing statement is really this.
Safety.
Do you think anyone is really going to work so hard now if they're just going to be taxed 40% of their earnings?
No, like I can tell you now that I work
won't.
$50 an hour. I make
This is why
$50 an
UBI
hour.
is not a good solution.
And listen, I make $15 an hour. I get $200-300 taken off of my paycheck alone, and that's what the tax is now. Think about when they start taxing people who make people over $50 an hour, starting at 15. They're
Mhm.
not gonna make them. They're not gonna make anything. I can barely
No,
afford gas right
yeah.
now, let
Yeah, and
alone my
I think the
insurance
government is
bill and
misusing the
my
money.
phone bill.
Like,
This is
he wouldn't be complaining about $300 taken from him
Socialism.
if he had
a
free
good
health
government.
care, for
Exactly.
example.
Yeah.
Gonna be like,
If the government actually used the money in the right
But
places, but
his
who does
money is
that?
going to Israel.
Yeah.
if I'm working so hard in
It's
America
sad.
and I'm
It's sad.
contributing to society, donating, money as well with my extra earnings, then all of a
I
sudden I'm
think
being
a lot
taxed for
of
the
it is
hard
just
work I
how
get.
America
I'm
uses
not
the
gonna work at
taxes.
all.
Yeah.
Normal $7 an hour, so I'm only getting taxed less than 5% of my earnings, and I'm still making more.
Okay.
And plus, if you think about
okay.
it, you have to remember what's going on right now. You see a lot of people get unemployment checks when they have the option to go back to work when employers are reaching out to them. Not only is that hurting the economy, but once you like a Saint said, you're gonna be less incentive. It'll be way less incentive to work because you're always gonna be getting some cash flow from the government. So you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
relying that on a crutch. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what people don't want. That's not what a stable economy does. Because at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, there won't be a proper cycle, per se.
Mm-hmm.
Because the economy and stocks, which is what a lot of these billionaires get their money from. So you have to understand that when things ebb and flow, there is no real combat to the situation at hand. You can
Yep.
propose these ideas, but the market can crash. People can lose hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands,
Just
like
like
we
the
saw with
cryptocurrency.
Corona. We saw
Yep.
people lose their life savings
Yep.
because of the stock market crash. So the implications of the actions won't. The implications of what you're trying to propose won't really work out that well.
Yeah, and I feel like IKEA has such a good point. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. IKEA does have a good point when it comes to this. The
There was a New
way
York City-
Darwin is proposing like how we should live and all about it just doesn't make sense. It's not a longevity type. It won't last long. It could be good at
Yeah.
first, but it's not like a bulletproof plan.
So
And like what
people-
he's promoting is the progressive left. That is that is considered an extreme in the political spectrum, and
Yeah.
just anything that's an extreme is not good.
It's not good.
Far right is not good. Far left is not
We
good.
need
Just
something that balances both and keeps both.
yeah, it's always
Yeah.
it's always good to have a
an
balanced view.
EBT card.
Yeah.
You know what an EBT card is?
That is EDP card. EDT card. What is it again?
It's a card. An EBT card is money that the government gives you based on your yearly pay. So if you're earning $20,000, you're considered a low socioeconomic status. But that's besides the point. Let's get into the actual study. Over 1,000 people were
Low-key
surveyed
debates
in the
won't
low
probably
socioeconomic
discussing
status.
religion.
Yeah. But if we leave now, we won't be able to get on official debates again, or like it will be hard.
Not easy, yeah.
Yeah.
Class. You know what they said?
What'd they say?
Well, what did you think they said?
So
How come-
okay, I got taxes.
If they're given free handouts, such as welfare money, treatment from the government, free housing, what makes you think they won't move up into the next bracket, into the into the middle class?
I've lost this debate already. So
No, you haven't lost it. You're just being informed.
No, this is just being educational. It's not really.
Yeah.
There's no winning or losing.
So do you know why they don't want to move up?
why?
But he did lose. I'm not gonna lie.
Because no, it's not only that. If they move up into the middle class, they're gonna lose all of the benefits that they earned from the government. So this is how the real world works, Darman. You earn less than $20,000 a year, you get free housing, free shelter, free water from the government, and you don't have to worry about that. Now you start earning more than $20,000 a year, let's say $30,000 a year. The government revokes
Shall I
all
post
of
the
those
stream in the
privileges,
chat?
and says, okay, this person is earning $30,000 a year. They have enough money to sustain their own life, so they don't move up. So that's why people don't
The
want to.
government's unaware, but it doesn't really benefit us for the rest of the people
Yeah.
to be aware specifically that they don't necessarily have our same points of views. It's
Yeah.
better to have
Just
like
separate
our
them.
audience,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to develop an audience that kind of agrees with us, although like it's, you know,
Happens when you then move up. Would you still support democratic
debatable,
socialism?
well,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What I actually want to ask everyone here. I
No,
also have
I'm still a Democrat by
Do,
far.
do you guys have any religious debates? or not?
Might be
Oh,
I might still semi-support
can
it.
I say something? I've been waiting for quite a while.
Well, I consider myself a progressive though. Still.
I can
That
say
wasn't the question. That wasn't the question we asked
too
you.
young
We
to
No,
asked
vote
you,
I
for
don't
would you
know.
still
religious
support?
I'd have to think about that. You won the debate, alright? I get it.
Well, I'm
I
not
get his
saying that I
personal
won the
lawyers,
debate.
but
What
he's
I'm
probably,
asking
if
you.
he feels pressure to have a strong position,
Okay, darn it.
I don't know.
$1,000 a
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
You're getting
He's
free
too young, bro.
handouts, right?
Do
Yeah, I
you-
heard everything you said. Alright, okay.
Would you
no.
want to move up?
Well, I would, but at the same time, I would not.
So would you?
So would you, if you're earning $20,000 a year, would you want to get $30,000 a year, or would you stay at $20,000 a year when you're getting government assistance such as free housing, free food,
It's a good
free
question. Would you
money?
move up, Omar?
I guess I wouldn't move
It
up.
would have to be an
So that's the
exponential
deal.
jump,
Yeah.
like a serious jump. Like I went
People
from
don't wanna
$20,000 working like a job without a degree to
Mhm.
like getting a degree and getting like a
A steady
$70,000 job
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of that degree.
It would need
Maybe
like a
then
big
it's
deal.
worth jumping. But if if the jump is so small
It's
that
pointless.
you're technically shouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about another debate
Well,
topic now?
Hold on, we have to go back to the original question, which is Jesus considered?
Yeah,
a
we went so far off. On that.
I wanted to say
I
a
can
couple
answer.
things.
I can answer that one. But you
I'm saying
continue
no
after
to that. I'm saying no to that.
I say
Purely
no to-
based off of the Webster Dictionary of progressivism, or whatever it's called. Let me get it back.
But you're
Progressive.
right?
So a progressive, not the insurance.
The insurance company, Progressive.
Okay, so a progressive is. Hold on, I'm not looking for the adjective. I am looking for the political party. So politics definition. So progressive is a political philosophy in support of
I'd say
social
that
reform.
religions,
So no.
most of them, especially in the point of
So, I mean, the characteristics are modern.
Actually, let me just speak of Abrahamic religions because I said most of it's not accurate. But and like the point of Islam, Islam came as a very, very, very progressive
We changed the topic.
religion.
Mhm.
It was considered very progressive. The Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him was giving rights to women, giving rights to animals, giving
Yeah.
like there was it was such like it was what he was preaching was so liberal compared to what the people at the time were used to, but today that doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply.
Because people are now even more want to be so much more progressive that they've gotten to the point of the point where religion reached, and now they've went beyond it.
Beyond it, yeah.
And the problem is that doesn't mean that's not a good thing, because in Islam, the Islamic point of view, Islam is a religion of i'tidal, of kind of being
fair.
moderate in the middle.
Yeah.
And that is the best place to be. If you go to farther than that to the left, you start making mistakes. If you're going farther than that to the right,
you're far gone.
to the conservatism, to the like, you're also start to make more mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Islam brings it's like if you forget what your religion is, like I think the most dangerous humans would be the people that actually forget their religion and they just don't follow it at all, whether it be Christianity, but you just have to like force yourself to follow the code of morals, because these are the ones that actually help you get through life without, Any dangers?
Yeah, I can answer that one.
And do you think? Wait, I didn't even finish the question, my guy.
Sorry.
So, do you think it's right for the person who earned 100% on the quiz to donate some of their points to support the guy who failed the quiz because he didn't study? Darman, what do you have to say about that?
You're comparing this to a quiz. It's just not. Some people
the problem
are
is that
poor and
some people it's out of their hand.
Still poor. Meanwhile, because some people.
Say what
Asking
now? Do you say something?
Listen to him.
to confuse you, I'm not using anything to trick you. Everybody in the class earned 100% on the quiz, but
Alright, Sarah,
you
can you let me
did. One sec, but you earned a 45% because you didn't study for the quiz. You didn't contribute. Is it right to get the people's percentage out of their grade and put it into your grade to compensate for your failure?
Obviously.
But
Is
this
that
is
fair?
We
completely.
moved on from the
This is
topic. though.
let's move on. We move on to see something. This is completely different because first of all, people who are poor sometimes are born to poor and they try to work hard, but they're still poor. Meanwhile, someone that doesn't study on a test, that's their choice. For example, they don't want to study and they don't have to study. So why does the person who has to do that get the points to them?
Okay, Darman, I'll
point
put
that
it
you're
even
comparing
simpler.
these two.
Darman, I'll put it simpler.
Saint.
Guys,
Yo,
guys,
we're
guys. I
switching.
want everyone
topics.
to be quiet. Everyone be quiet. I'm gonna rotate people out, okay? We have a lot of people that want to come in.
How do you expect yourself to be taken seriously with that
If we get
profile
taken out,
picture,
let's go to debates. I don't know if we'll be taken out.
I don't think. Yeah, I took permission to not be taken out. I mean, they're gonna change the thing now. They're gonna change the topic.
That message
Let me finish. Let me finish.
about
Like I'm not a big fan of the topics they're on about, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Closing statements, guys. Closing
I'm gonna
statements.
let me finish. I'm gonna rotate people out. If you want to join in, join the server. Go to debate waiting list and react to the message. Okay, I'm gonna rotate people out. You have 5 minutes. Close up.
Let's see how
Close up now.
Beautiful.
Alright, so the closing statement is this. Okay, I'm going to use mine. Does anyone want to go first? Astro, you haven't talked. You can go ahead.
Yes. Oh, I was just gonna.
Astro, you want to go?
Yeah, I was gonna ask one thing. I actually asked this yesterday, but I was gonna ask this as new people. What is you guys' preferred form of government?
Well, back to this again.
That's interesting.
Absolute monarch. No.
The guy.
Everybody has
Man
a
was about to
different-
say
Remember
monarchy.
yesterday when the guy said anarchism?
Yeah.
I remember
government.
that. Yeah.
Nargi.
What do you think?
I don't know.
I
I was there with you with anti-beta and UIQ.
Yeah, I didn't like
I was
that.
here,
I
yeah.
didn't like that argument. That was
Just,
actually
like something democratic, in my personal opinion, something
Honestly,
democratic.
from a nihilist perspective,
But-
I
Worse
believe
than my argument.
The people who get to vote are people who are knowledgeable,
Yeah.
because people who aren't influenced by propaganda, that's kind of hard to determine which people are influenced by propaganda, which people are like
actually
knowledgeable. Like,
Yeah.
and some could say, well, why are the rich all getting to vote? And it could be not because we're letting the rich vote, it's because the rich just happen to be more educated.
Yeah.
So like there are more of them voting than poor people, something like that.
introduce a strict moral code within
But
people.
I'd say
and
that
then that will fix
something
most
like
of the problems
democracy
capitalism.
with
However,
high levels
you
of
genuinely
education.
have to have a good
Democracy
Education
and high
is
levels of
important
education.
to democracy.
Yeah.
I think education
Yeah, that
contributes to a good democracy. Is that?
our own, like as a Muslim, I'm not allowed to take interest, right? Like we Muslims, especially in the United States, I believe it's pretty statistical, factual that we're doing pretty well economic wise. We have one of the highest entrepreneurship rates, everything. Like we're doing very well, and we can't take interest. We don't do mortgages, right? We don't do stuff like because we know that these things like inherently
internet.
they have
Mm-hmm.
yes, internally they have a possibility of harming someone, right?
Mhm.
Even though like interest people have gotten so rich, right? Like you see the poorest man, like you take a real estate mogul in Florida, like Ben Mala, right? The guy was on the streets, right? He bought a house on 0% down, right, on a loan with interest, and now he's worth like 250 million, right? But we as Muslims, in our moral aspect, like we're not allowed to lie to people, we're not allowed to cheat people, we are forced morally to give charity. Anybody who does not give charity
2.5%.
Yes,
yeah.
2.5% of all of our assets. We have to
And
give
this
to
is
charity. So a lot of Muslims,
this
that's
is
why
the
they
point
don't
you
like
actually, you know,
keeping
mentioned
assets by
earlier
the
in
end
the
of the year.
stream. We
You
have
have
to
to
give
sell,
zakat,
whatever
which is
gold you
charity.
have, whatever ox you have, whatever houses you have to pay 2.5% of that to charity, right? And then
Exactly.
on Eid, you have to give food to the homeless. So this is all a moral introduction. It's a moral addition that Islam gives, although including in moral additions. For example, my father, right? His employer, he works at a hospital, right? And his employer, he wasn't allowing for him to invest his 401k in a halal index fund, because we as Muslims, it's un-Islamic to invest in the S&P 500, because there's companies that deal with alcohol, there's companies that deal with
Drug
military
and yeah.
military stuff, militants, a lot of that. So as Muslims, we have different funds. We have Amana funds, we have Wahid funds, we have Iman fund. All of these funds, index funds, they are exclusive. They exclude every single quote unquote unhalal, impermissible, haram stock from the fund itself. So that's a moral introduction we make. However, we as Muslims have no inherent disagreement with capitalism. I actually like capitalism more than communism.
No PFP.
Do you agree with that?
Can I say something?
I say he summed it up perfectly. Yeah.
I feel like I really do agree with what he said. If I'm being honest, I feel like it was the perfect argument.
Have such a bad like sway on capitalism is because of it's because of the greed people have, which is the problem. It's the greed and the love of money, which tells you in the Bible about the love,
Yes.
I love money.
Yeah.
That is why capitalism is
Yes.
being painted as a bad picture, and why people want to go socialism.
Yes.
Be the same, but yeah, again, if everyone's the same, then
I feel like
everyone's
this is more of a
slothful and not
religious
encouraged to do
topic
work,
now,
as it said in the
finally.
parable of the talent.
Yes.
There's no one's encouraged to work, but instead being
Yes.
slothful and being at home. So that's really that's why capitalism is being painted as a bad thing.
You see, my problem with socialism, sorry if I cut you off here, but they basically presume that you cannot fix people's greed, right?
Yes.
Like, of course you're not going to fix people's greed, but their solution is basically whatever people have attained through their greed, even though it may be beneficial to some people, right? They will take away from those people, right? And they will distribute among the people who were not greedy, even though if they were greedy, but they were not successful enough in their quote unquote
Anyone
greed,
who's
if
watching,
they even
please tell
had
me
greed,
how does the
right?
quality look.
I don't believe that's the
I
solution.
tried my
right?
best to
What you do
make
is
it 1080p
like you said,
60
the
fps.
Bible in and of
I
itself
feel
it
like
mentions
it's
people
running
who
well.
are obsessed with money.
If you have any
the
any
Quran, it
comment,
says,
please tell us in the comments, and
"Abd
thank you guys for the
people who
likes you've left
enslave
so far.
themselves, they become slaves to money. You know, to the coin. They become slaves to the coin, and the Quran tells us, like everything that you earn it to give Allah a qarza hasana, which means a loan which is good, right? So we give God our loan in the form of giving charity to poor people.
True.
I've met Muslims who give 20%. Like, this is like very common in the Muslim world. Good Muslims give 10, 27% of their entire income, whatever they make, in sadaqah, right? Which is charity.
That reminds me. That reminds me of a scripture.
And they are like full blown capitalists. Like, they have factories and they're very successful in their businesses, but they live like humble people, and they donate money. They invest all their
And that's
money.
the
They
right
have all
thing
their
to
money
do.
in the bank. They just eat happily, and they drink happily. Water, of course, we can't drink alcohol.
Allah.
It's just simple as that. So the moral aspect,
Yeah.
what socialism
like,
assumes is that you are incapable, and it presumes that you are incapable of changing this greed. So what you have to do is just take away whatever people have attained through their greed, right?
Yeah,
But I don't believe that's a solution. You
Allah.
need to preach to them. You need to try to change them. You need to try to tell them that, listen, this is not a way of life. Like the Quran says, "Hatta alhaakum at-takathur." You will keep wanting to gain. You will keep wanting to fight for gain. Gain.
That's
Hatta
human
zurtum
nature.
al-maqabir, until you reach your graves.
Yes, human nature is to gain.
Like,
more,
what are
more,
you gonna
be
take to your
powerful.
grave with you? You're not
Yeah.
gonna take anything
Yeah.
to your grave with you. All that money, all that
all
bank
that
account.
perishes. All
Exactly.
burns.
Kullu
Yeah.
man alayha fan. Everything in the world will perish. All you have is the money you gave to the poor.
Right, and what he
something
did
that
in
God
the
will
world.
find reasonable, something which God will find liable, something which God will find
Yes.
understandable, for that which He can have mercy on you. He will exhibit His mercy on you if you are deserving of it, right? And if you've tried to attain His mercy.
Anti-beta is also interesting too.
I gotta go soon, guys. So
okay.
before I leave, I'd like to give us my closing statement.
Yeah, you can do that. I'll let you go.
Okay, so to offer the closing statement, I'm gonna come up with this. All right, we're gonna split this. Was Jesus a socialist, a capitalist, or something else?
Yeah,
No.
that's
Capitalist.
interesting.
I feel like
Okay,
I
so
I'd say he's a
really.
capitalist, but
he's
not
the capitalist. That's correct. So it's
Can you have
fascinating
an
how
opinion about
frequently
this?
modern, 25.
One more.
Yes.
Socialists finesse
Do you have an
scripture to
opinion about
justify.
this?
I'd say
Matthew.
they probably would explain it better than me. I don't
Capitalists
have a strong
overplay the
opinion.
parable
Yeah,
of
I
the
agree,
talents. Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30. They both teach Christ's teachings. So, in terms of whether Jesus Christ was a capitalist or a socialist, he was a capitalist.
But without the sin at all, if you know what I mean. Like,
Without the faults of capitalism, without the faults of
why are we
modern day
then-
He says,
capitalism.
"All right, I gotta go soon, guys. I gotta go soon."
Guess
He
who
says,
just joined
and I
the
quote, "For
stream?
whoever has will be given more,
I'm
and
sorry,
they will
not the
have
stream,
an
the
abundance.
debate.
Who does not have,
Anonymous is
even
here.
they will have be taken from them."
Wait, what?
Matthew chapter 25 teaches these spiritual lessons, okay? That we all serve Christ with all of our talents, which entails supporting brothers and sisters. But the quote unquote least of these is the socialism, because it is sinful.
I don't know why we're talking about this from a Muslim perspective, having read the Bible, right? I believe that Jesus would not necessarily entail. Of course, I believe he would prefer capitalism over communism or socialism. However, I think it's wrong to call him a capitalist, because
that's
these
wrong, because
people
that's
were
the world's
prophets.
I feel like
These
we can't
people
assign
were
anything.
messengers. They were mighty messengers. Jesus himself is the Christ. He's the Messiah. How less of a shit? I'm sorry, but how less of a shit would he give about economics?
Jesus helps
He-
those who helps themselves.
How less would how less of a shit would he give about
I
economics?
think he's taking
He's
too
here to
far.
guide people to salvation, not to tell people how to make more money.
Yeah.
So
it's
economically, Jesus as a person, his focus was not economic. I believe
I mean,
it's
it is true.
it's
You know?
capitalism
But the
over
way he's
communism,
phrasing
but
it,
you have
it
to
looks a
remember
bit like
that both
hostile.
of these are nihilist ideas. Both of these are atheistic ideas, and they're based
Okay.
off of
Okay, well, what about Leviticus?
what Leviticus? What
Sure.
verse?
Chapter 18.
We've said our closing statements like so many times.
What about
Okay,
it?
guys, we're gonna have to rotate people. I'm gonna kick people out. Okay.
Okay.
Mercy, keeping the Astro guy and the SMG guy, okay?
It's
I
fun
wanna
to get
talk.
made fun of.
And
can I
Sippy
say?
Nerd, please.
Well, you didn't get made fun of. It's a learning. We're educating.
Yeah, I'll tell
and
you what.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
what I meant,
find
that's what I
many
meant, that's what I meant.
instances. You can find many agreements, right, of your form of government. Oh, or sorry, within your Bible, you can find many consistencies, many agreements between your Bible and the economic system of capitalism. But I think to label the Bible as capitalist would be wrong,
Yeah,
because
that's
capitalism
Mhm.
as a cumulative idea is only and only centered around what? Capital gain, right? That's all. The only thing is centered
Obadiah.
around.
Not necessarily.
Come on,
Obadiah.
man. Yeah,
No, it's not.
No, I think
Yo,
capitalism
Renegade.
can get a person
I'm gonna
to
have to.
kind of lose in the
Why would you
afterlife
move
if it's
me?
misused.
Bro, guys, let me explain to you some.
I mean, losing in the
context.
afterlife would be
Yesterday,
going to
I
hell.
asked some
Feel
Christian
like.
a
Yeah, yeah.
question.
Do you know what Yahweh means?
Alright,
Yeah, that's what I thought
Isn't he
so.
God?
It's like next level intellectual trolling. Like he's genuinely trolling, but he's being intellectual about it.
Trolling?
Yeah,
You
he's
gotta love it,
Renegade's
man.
trolling.
You gotta love it, man.
He's
a troll.
trolling?
He was like,
Does that mean I
read
won the
about
debate?
No, dude, I was not trolling over there.
Bro,
He wasn't
can't
trolling this
win
time.
a debate, man. You can't win a debate with that voice. No, I'm joking. Okay, nothing.
No, I was only trolling anti-beta. I wasn't trolling you, Norman. Everything that I said about you was speaking facts. Whether
There's 1,000 languages out there, but the man spoke to choose to speak facts. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
He also decided to speak trolling when he's talking to you, anti-beta. Come on, man.
Okay, so Darman, yes or no?
Is Jesus a capitalist or socialist? Is that like...
Oh my god.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna,
not
I'm gonna
that,
kick you out.
bro.
I'm kicking
It's
people
not
out.
that,
Do
Darman.
you wanna get? Yeah, there's this guy. I want him back up here.
What's the yes or no question? What's the yes or no question?
There is no yes or no question.
The yes or no question
a
is
capitalist or a communist? Yes.
no, guys,
Like,
come on, guys, come on. I'm asking you this: Did we? I'm not asking you if we won or not. If I won or you won, but did you gain something out of this conversation? Like, did it convince you? Did it change your perspective on democratic socialism?
Well, I'm still a Democrat.
I'm not asking if
No,
what your political party is.
I still believe in it a little bit, but you did change my mind a little bit. But the whole test thing you did, that was complete.
Oh, okay, perfect. I'm gonna have to move you out.
Perfect. Good
Hey,
for you.
Thank you. Bring Subway up here, man. That's my boy.
Yo,
Yeah, we
but,
need Subway.
Is
Bring
Jesus a
some-
capitalist? In my opinion, no. Is Jesus a communist?
Whoa.
Alaikum assalam, brother.
It's my favorite Muslim.
Is are Transformers real? Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Okay,
I'm gonna.
okay, hold on.
My man just
I have
asked
a
if Transformers are
question
real.
for you guys. But first, I want to say a couple of things. If you
Yeah,
haven't
go ahead.
already, click
please,
that little join server button on the top, as well as boost the server. Pretty sure I said this already if you are new, but I will give somebody, whoever lives in the U.S., a free Popeye's chicken sandwich. If you boost, you'll be
Us
automatically.
Muslims cannot even eat it, man. Come on.
Well, sucks to be you, I guess.
Can I say
Wait,
something?
Nah.
Can I say something?
I have a question for you.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to know if you approve of this, right? So I was scrolling through like Instagram, right, and I see there's this thing, right? It's like a cross, right, with Jesus on it, and it turns into a transformer with like.
I sent that to Josh. I sent that to Josh in the DMs.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
What happened? What do you guys think?
I think, AKA Graven.
Nature of the reincarnation has been explained.
All right, I guess we have now we know why Optimus Prime is so.
The hypostatic union. Jesus is fully transformer, fully man, and fully God at the same time.
Matrix of leadership, the spark, and the box.
Be right back. I need to use the restroom.
Where's take your time? Okay, so somebody asked me in somewhere is like, if Islam has such a economic system, why is most of the Middle East financially unstable? Okay, can you name one Middle Eastern?
That's it.
No. What? No. Name one Middle Eastern country which has an Islamic economy and policy.
Saudi.
UAE.
Sorry?
No, they don't.
Can we skip economy because we've been on this topic for like a certain amount of time, homie.
I'll just it's like a brief answer, right? So there is only one country which genuinely follows an Islamic economy, because all countries for economics, even the Saudis, even the Emiratis, like even the Syrians, even the Jordanians, they all take loans on interest, right? So that in and of itself disqualifies them from being part of the Islamic economy. There is one country which I believe, I'm informed, I believe, according to my information, follows the Islamic economy, and it's Brunei, and Brunei is doing pretty well. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
So like Kuwait or like something.
May I add something to the conversation?
Who is this?
Oh, it's a Crusader, my man.
Hold on, we have a genuine question. We have a genuine question. So, are African practices like channeling spirits and stuff like that just evil to all religions? In parentheses, Islam and Christianity, since those are the only ones that have rep in the debate. Why?
In our religion, I think yes. Well,
Islam 100% yes, because anything that gives God like any sort of not equal, like not one, anything that like is not one, so shirk basically is again like biggest sin in our religion. So believing that there's something other than God that has his attributes and powers.
Exactly. There's only one.
Also, black magic is banned. It's one of the biggest sins
I
as
think
well.
any type of magic is banned in Islam.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just follow the religion simply.
From the Christianity standpoint, it is not allowed because channeling spirits is very similar to. It's if you've been to Haiti before, you will know that Haiti is one of the most demonic places on the planet due to the black magic that is around there. Okay, so if you take that into account and you understand the area around Haiti, then you'll most likely understand that it is not anything of positive energy like you would be experiencing from the Holy Spirit. Rather, it is dark, gruesome, and unsettling, to say the least.
Yeah.
Think about it like this. Let's say you study end times, alright, where you watch like The Nun. Actually, that's a pretty bad horror movie. Any
It is a
horror
shit
movie.
horror movie, if
That
I'm
that
honest.
feeling that you get when this thing's building up and you get that jump scare. Think about that, but amped up to 100 and actually happening in real life. You will see so much demonic
I
witchcraft
would
in
pass
Haiti.
out probably.
No, you'd be attacked. You'd be attacked so much.
It's horrible.
Alright, that goes.
Like
and
How can we confirm that?
how can you confirm that? Well, there are many people from Haiti, as well as myself. I did a mission trip there once, so I can confirm with my own eyes, as well as multiple different eyewitness testimonies and people who currently live there. They can say
Are
that
you
it's
sure
not
it wasn't just the general change of location that was
No,
bothering you?
no, no.
Who's
Because I've been
this?
into other countries before. This was unlike anything I've experienced before. I mean, you'll see you'll see in Haiti the witchcraft. It's like down the same street. You could have a Christian practicing their stuff, and then you'll have black magic right on like the other.
Quick question: how is that considered witchcraft if they're practicing their own local religion?
Because they're drawing pentagrams and different forms
Maybe
of
not.
symbolism on the ground.
Alright, thank you for your answer. So, by your point of view, they're heretics or witches that practice the demonic magic, right?
Correct.
I
mean, and this is not just me saying that. You can ask anybody that's lived in Haiti.
But aren't
if they have any
you,
idea.
in their eyes, also a heretic?
Huh?
They have their own religion that they practice, drawing pentagrams and shit, right?
It's more like paganism, but even then, it's
Yeah, they're
black
pagans.
magic.
Aren't you, by them, a heretic?
According
Because
to
you do
Islamic
not follow their
understanding,
religion.
magic, you can only do magic
I
if
think
you
there's a
disbelieve in Allah.
difference, but the person that was
It
saying
takes disbelief to engage
Even
in
in
magic.
Christianity, the IKEA
Yeah.
was a Christian said it's not allowed. So
Yes.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I don't know what that guy is talking about,
I
Crusader.
don't know what he's on about. If I'm being honest,
Essentially, what
he's lost.
Just define
There's-
magic to make things
This
There's
is
a-
simple, right? Yes, the two religions contradict from one perspective. The other religion is a heretic. So from Christian perspective, they are practicing magic, even though to themselves they might not believe they're practicing magic. And yes, from that perspective, they might believe that Christians are heretics, right? Like it's all about
Yes,
perspective.
that is my point. Like, in the Middle Ages, to a Muslim, or let's say to a Christian, a Muslim was a heretic. That's why they did the Crusades and shit.
No.
Everybody who does not
No,
follow
no,
your
no.
point
That
of
is
religion
incorrect.
and
That
system
is
is a
incorrect.
heretic to you.
That
is
is
that
incorrect.
not true?
No. No, in the terms of the Crusades, that's not what happened. I believe Mercy explained it multiple times that it was one Bible verse taken out of context.
I understand. I do not need to be correct, but we all the all religions consider each other heretics, if I'm not wrong, because they practice different things, which does not agree with their original alignment. Is that correct?
Can I just say something?
I mean, honestly, I would trust the guy who's named Crusader more about the Crusades than like.
I don't
I'm
know
hearing
about
now.
that. Bro. I didn't hear.
political
I didn't
thing
hear
with,
Des Volt come out of his mouth. Yeah, so I don't know.
And he sounds
I
pretty
want to ask
persuasive.
Subway a question.
Yeah.
Subway, what do you mean by what? Do you know what the B in the Bible is? What?
No,
This
it was
is
a
big
joke.
brain
It was
stuff.
a joke.
No.
It was a
That's
Yo,
what I
ask
thought.
you. Ask
All right, all right.
We don't discuss this here, okay? This is
Yeah.
in private, okay? This is. I don't think our audience is that intellectually capable of understanding.
All right. I understand that.
Yo, wait. There's a guy
Understand,
who
we'll have a
talking
great
about the
day.
civil war in Syria. Yo.
Yes, let's have it.
Guys,
Let's talk about that, man.
Let's
Yes.
talk about it, bro. So, where do you stand on it?
I stand on it. It is a humanitarian
to be honest.
crisis.
Why would you
It's a
stand
The
on
U.S.
it?
should be there. Do you
More
think the U.S.
politics.
should be in Syria?
Yeah, they should be
probably.
stopping all the bombings and that stuff and going on. It's
It's
sorry,
happened
but-
costing
by
lives.
you.
But you do realize they're on the wrong side.
Yeah, they're on the wrong side. Yeah.
What
Exactly.
side
So
would you
you
take in
either.
this? This is a civil
I
war.
take the government side. I taking the government side.
So you're a governmental. What's that? What's the term again?
Civil wars are quite
Governmental
nasty.
side is-
Yeah, it's not.
Wait,
No, that's not what I mean.
how do
I
you feel
wouldn't
about
always
the
take the
civil
government
war
sides. In
in
this
Syria?
case, I would take the government side.
Well, I
No,
think you have to
no.
understand.
Is the government even
I don't understand.
I'm pretty sure the leader of the Bashar Assad, I'm pretty sure he's not even Muslim.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
Syria is a Muslim nation.
Mm.
Sure.
So
Subway,
my
Subway, are
opinion is
you? One second. Subway, are you a Shia?
لا Sunni.
Do you hate Bashar al-Assad, that guy?
Yeah, he said. Yeah.
I actually
not
support him,
Muslim.
and so do many Syrians.
You support him?
How do you
Yeah.
support him? And what?
Wait. Can somebody get banned this guy? No, I'm joking.
Yo,
Oh, is that a?
Is
Is that?
you
Is
mind if
that?
I
Look,
drag you?
I
It's
unpopular
read
position.
the paragraph
Yeah.
before, right? So he is a dictator. He's an awful dictator. Yes, I do agree with that. But think of it this way: if he were to be taken out at this specific time, this moment of time, if he were to be gone, there would be a power vacuum, a power struggle, in which either Israel, ISIS, or the Kurdish could easily retake take the country.
Yeah, but ISIS isn't that much of a threat at the moment.
Yeah, they have been
I
pretty
think it would
much
be good
destroyed
if
recently.
either
Yes, no,
Britain
but at the
or
time,
Israel takes over.
during American intervention, they were a giant threat. They've taken most of Syria until Russia decided to intervene and come on the government side.
Well, yeah, but then you have to realize how spread is the U.S.
Brother, you're lost it,
Um,
brother.
Like, what is like? You have to understand, like I said
He's
earlier,
not- he's
the
not presenting
implication
a
of the
bad
action. You can
point.
try and
I
squash,
think
but this is a terrorist
it would be
group, which
better if,
means
you, if the
ideology can
government,
go and
if that
spread
was really
anywhere.
like, if you don't want to create a power vacuum,
You
the
can
previous
try.
government should be should create a new government and
What did it turn
and
out
make
to?
sure that that government is strong enough not to let an external power take over Syria, yet a government that the people accept more than they do the current existing government, because clearly people don't want the current government.
Yeah.
After.
So I believe it's
But the thing is, who
So,
gives us
necessary
like-
for Bashar Assad to establish a new government with a new leader. If he does it himself and then leaves,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Leave Syria and then
to
you,
have the power vacuum filled,
Exactly.
as he described it,
Yeah.
Subway, but have a better government for Syria.
Exactly.
Bashar guy, bro, it's going down, man. Honestly, I respected you.
Can I
bro.
state my opinion on the matter?
No. Thank you. Next.
Can
No,
we
no,
be
no, go
honest
ahead,
with
go
each
ahead,
other?
go ahead,
Dude,
guys,
that's
go
not
ahead.
cool, man.
I'm sorry, okay? That's
Okay,
just
you
how I
can,
am.
hey, don't worry, bro. Bully anti-beta all you want, man.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay,
State your
so
opinion.
I don't care what kind of political struggles are going on. It's just a humanitarian, like, it's not even a crisis. It's an apocalypse. Something needs to be done. I don't care which side wins. The fighting needs to be stopped. That is my opinion.
A lot of people say
it's a
that, but they
civil
don't
war,
present
like,
practical
there's-
solutions. I don't know.
Yeah.
Civil
Yeah,
war.
So,
it's not a
Astro,
civil
That's
war,
not
it's
how
a
it
proxy
Astro,
works. That's
what's
not how
what's
it
your
works.
solution?
war at this point.
I think
Sorry,
Astro. I think
it
Astro.
started
With the
you're-
country.
What's
Look,
what's
it
your
started
solution
as
to
a
fix
civil
it?
war. Wait,
Split the
just let me
country.
get to- It started as a civil war,
He said
and what it
split the
turned to
country.
is a proxy war, right?
Split the-
Where
yeah,
different
yes.
countries are funding different groups
S-
and support.
I mean,
Now it's just
it's a solution, I guess, but I don't know.
You have so many
we
people
have
backing to
to
one
look
country
at
where they're all
the
fighting.
government, the countries, examples of countries that have been split, and kind of look at it
Yeah.
from that sense. Like splitting countries at this point,
I don't know.
if you look at it from the Islamic cause, Muslims don't need to be more separated unless it's like an exclusively Christian Syria and
And then
exclusively Muslim
yeah,
Syria.
but I
Then
don't
I
think
guess
that.
that's kind of okay.
That's not how it
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I don't agree. I don't totally agree with it, but it is a solution. But I feel like
Lack of knowledge on this
he needs to go in a bit depth in depth.
makes you confuse this with
Like we don't want to create
other
another North Korea.
Yeah, exactly.
humanitarian crisis. The war in
Civil wars are
Syria.
bad. Are very
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah,
we get
that's
it.
a
No-
presumption
Okay.
you're making.
No.
I think you just asked a couple of minutes ago what country. So you didn't even know what country it was,
What?
and your solution
I
was
did
that.
know what country. What do you mean?
Okay,
telling
okay,
you,
then
it's
I'm
a
sorry.
proxy war. You have Saudi and Iraq funding one side. You have sorry Saudi funding one group. Sorry, the rebels. You have Iraq funding the government. You have Russia intervening as well. Now you have
Sunni
Americans
versus
intervening.
Shia.
You have Israeli forces also invading, and it's just all gone to hell. Like it's no longer a civil war. Yes, it may have started as a couple of people rebelling against
bro.
And the
government,
superpowers need
but
to
it's
do
gone
something.
so
No,
far.
listen, Subway. The only thing that's gone to hell is you traitor. Nah.
Who? Where? What traitor? How?
I don't know, but yeah, Subway. I don't know what you're like. I don't know, man.
I'm telling you from first-hand experience. I've talked to other Syrians about this. Not just my opinion. I've talked to a lot of Syrians that I know. I could be wrong, but from where I'm from, hey, I used to live in Syria. Tell me, how was a cat? Okay, man. Okay, Peter.
Okay,
A bit of heat.
it's the same thing as just because you're a black man doesn't mean you have the right to say the N word. It's the same thing.
What?
What?
What does that have to
Are
do?
you-
What?
what?
I'm saying, as
So,
a
Mama-
Syrian,
Huh?
talk to
Huh?
Syrians,
You got something
I
to say,
have
man?
first-hand knowledge about their opinions on the matter. And guess what? There's like only one of them that doesn't support, out of like the 30, 40 that I've talked to. There's only one of them that's against him.
Remember
We'll
that
talk
he
to
was
the
Syrian.
refugees.
How,
He was
bro?
from
That's because he's
Syria.
charismatic.
Beautiful.
Dictators need to be charismatic.
Hey,
Beautiful, right? So listen, every single
well, man, I
Syrian
don't know,
Sunni
man.
I've
I'm
met
lost.
is against Bashar al-Assad, and he's with it. So all those people who live in Syria, and
You've been
they
talking to
probably
the wrong
It's just as much as a political struggle
have
as
to-
it is
you
a
have to-
religious struggle.
listen. You have to argue
versus
with
Shia.
them, right? And I believe that there's a democratic thing here where there's a lot more people who are on the side of being against Bashar al-Assad, and you, sir, are one of the outliers, right?
What's the
So
solution? Okay, let's say we
you
eradicate Bashar al-Assad. What's the solution?
What's the solution between Palestine and Israel?
I don't know.
Exactly. Exactly, because with the elimination of Bashar al-Assad, although I agree he's a horrible human being, right? I agree with that.
With
Right?
Bashar?
But
He's a
yes,
terrible
Bashar,
human being.
Bashar, he's a terrible human being. But we kind of need him so we don't have a power vacuum like what happened in Iraq and Iran.
How
scum.
about
He's
Bashar
worse than
al-Assad
scum.
himself
Crazy.
prepares for the creation of a new government?
Yeah.
So, like Bashar overlooks the creation of a new government, and then as soon as it's formed, he leaves
Mm.
with that. So there's no power vacuum, and
Yeah.
Bashar isn't there.
He's an oppressor who caused
There was literally-
genocide.
Wait, Slippy, where
You realize they
Slippy,
held an
where are you
election in
from?
Syria where he's won again.
He's
Slippy, where are you from, if I may ask?
From Egypt.
Oh, you're from Egypt. Crap, bro. I thought it's like somewhere closer to Syria, you know, so I could get some backup here.
I know some
like
people.
Like
It's
a
okay.
month ago, not even a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, a democratic election happened, and guess what? Bashar won.
That was not a
was
democratic
voting?
election in any way or form. It was rigged. It was
Yeah.
rigged.
Obviously, let me guess that Trump was rigged as well. Trump
That was
election
like the Russian
Yeah, it was.
elections.
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
It was
you
not a
guys look at it like
democratic
this,
election.
this
Don't
is
say
you
that.
guys don't
That's
Yo,
like
like
Astro,
Astro,
hold it. Yo, pause.
elected.
Astro. You have no idea what you're talking about in the slightest. Let the person who's from Syria, that has background knowledge, that has parents from there, friends and family that's currently living in Syria, like, let this dude talk. Because right now, he has more background knowledge than everybody else in this chat. Unless you thoroughly research the topic.
But
Yeah, honestly, even me, all of the only thing I'm saying is that I've met a lot of people, and so I made like this traitor joke. That's the only thing I did. I was like, listen, this guy goes against most of the people I've met. So he's a traitor. All fun and games. But I acknowledge the fact that he probably knows more about it than me. That's why I'm staying quiet. I don't have a lot of knowledge on the Syrian war. I've just heard a lot of people who are like, a lot of people I admire. They've said that, Bashar al-Assad, that guy's a heretic, this, that. So that's why I'm staying quiet here. The beginning I want to clarify was just a joke. So go ahead, Subway. You know more than me. Go ahead.
So
Preach your
actually,
preach.
look, again, I agree with those people that he's a horrible person. He probably should not be president when the country is stable again, right? But
I've heard
I have
people
to-
say he's not a Muslim either. I wouldn't go as
well, he
far
is,
as
I,
that.
well,
He isn't,
I don't
he
know,
isn't.
but from what I know, he's a Sunni. He's a Sunni. From what I know.
He's a Sunni?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me just make sure.
Yeah,
Let me just make sure that I haven't been hearing shit from my friends, right?
Yeah.
Wait, let me check.
Yeah, if he's a Sunni, then I'm gonna leave. Like that means I'm dumb. I'm stupid. One sec. I
I
thought he was
guess we have
Shia.
6ix9ine here.
He's an Alawite.
Yes, Alawites are Shia. There you go. So he's
Oh,
not a Sunni.
Okay, so
Come on, man, you're Syrian.
hey, I was
Shia,
told he
that's
was
the thing,
Sunni.
right?
I was told he
There's
was
a-
Sunni.
There's the majority of the population in Syria is what? Is
Sunni.
what?
Muslim-
Second largest is
Muslim
Alawite.
And the leader is what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
But like,
that's
why?
there's
What
a-
does him being a Shia have to do with him being a president?
Huh?
You do realize that
Because
the rebels started
he has-
because the
Yeah.
rebels started. The story was that there were a couple of children graffitiing anti-Assad propaganda, right?
Why?
And they were tortured. Right?
Why?
I don't know. Some shit about them getting beat up over like insulting someone, insulting
No,
one
why?
of them.
Why were they propagating anti-Assad propaganda? Why were they doing that? Tell me.
I don't know. They were killed. How could they speak?
No, I'm saying before they were killed. Why? What do you think it is? I don't know. Isn't a viable
I
answer.
don't know because look, I'm telling you, when I've lived there, I didn't see any form of what's it called, mistreatment towards anyone. Okay. Now again, I may be a
No,
bit
but
biased.
you,
I am
you,
from.
you,
Okay,
you
wait, let me
thought,
continue.
no,
The
with
people
all
you
due
mentioned-
respect, I thought you knew what you were talking about, but you thought Assad was a Sunni. Like
Because
this
that's
is
what
the
I've been
crux
told.
of
That's
the
what I've been
matter.
informed.
Then who's informing you?
So wait. So I go one wrong sect. I go his sect wrong, and that's it. I've all
Yes.
my knowledge on the topic
Yes.
is now gone.
Yes, that's to me. Yes,
But you said
because
you're an expert.
the crux of the matter is the reason why there is a civil war is because people don't want a bad democracy where they are majority Sunni and they're being ruled by a Shia leader. That's the crux of the matter. If you can't recognize the fact that there is a majority Sunni population being ruled by a Shia population, then I believe, my personal opinion, you should not talk about the matter. Right? No matter how long you've lived in Syria, does not matter. You have no right to talk on the matter if you don't know that Assad is like my own opinion, but like now like genuinely respect for you.
Hold on, I forgot. But what's exactly the difference between Sunni and Shia? I forgot.
Shia's okay. Subway, you want to take this or?
Basically, the split started when I was Ali ibn. I forgot his name. I just know he started. He
Abi
started with
Talib,
Ali.
yeah.
Yeah,
Radiallahu
they radiallahu anhu assumed that he should have been the caliph, I believe, instead of
Yeah.
Abu Bakr, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Mhm.
So then that's where it started, and it went to into entire family lines of people splitting, fighting over who should have been ruling the caliph, and how people like, for example, I don't know how this I don't know. Shias pray with like a rock on the carpet. I don't know how that.
So they have
Ali
different
ibn Talib
traditions as well.
Went to that. Yeah, they have different traditions.
More than traditions, they have like they kind of change up in a sense the aqidah of Islam, like the basis of Islam. Like they have
Alright.
split away from. That's why they're called Shias, because they have split away from the Sunni sect. The people we believe are promised Jannah, like Umar radiallahu an, Ali radiallahu an, they curse them, right? The companions of the Prophet, right? They
But
believe
there's
that.
like different kinds of Shia though.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I acknowledge the fact that I was kind of generalizing there. There was a Shia on here who, like I'm from Pakistan. Pakistan is the country which has the second largest Shia population. I grew up eating, like on something called the Ali Day or something like that. They make halim, right? I always say Shias make the best halim, right? Like I have nothing against Shias, right? But I'll tell you what, the more I talk to them, the more farther away I feel from them. It's the complete opposite with Christians. Whenever I talk to Christians, I find more love for Christians. But whenever I talk to Shias, I find that we have a lot of disagreements,
feel like
and I find a lot more, like a difference. Like we are different people, and we need to move away from each other. That's how I feel with Shias, because they have like I've heard Shias say, legitimate Shias say, that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so similar. His ruh was so similar. His spirit was so similar to Ali ibn Abi Talib that the angel Gabriel, angel Jibril, accidentally revealed revelation upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam instead of Ali. So
But I heard something differently from that. I have actually a friend that I go to school with. He's actually Shia too, and what he said about that matter, he said that he was only like he went to some place and it was an accident completely, and they believe that Sayyidina Ali should have been the prophet and stuff.
They said
And
Ali,
that Sayyidina Muhammad isn't the prophet, and all of his Sahaba aren't to be trusted.
Yes.
And that's it, and that's what
that's
he
just
like.
messed up.
Listen. So the point is, we can keep going on the differences, right? We can keep going on and on and on about our differences. However, the crux of the matter is that we have differences, and we have big differences, and we have differences enough that there are entire countries who don't want there to, which are Sunni, who don't want there to be a Shia leader, right? That's basically the crux of what it is. Shias and Sunnis are very different, right? Especially in the sense of their rule, right? Their democracies, they're very different.
But actually, Shias differ from each kind. Like there's kinds. Some
I
are
know.
actually
So do Sunnis.
like
so do
some.
Sunnis. I believe there are kuffar who are
Some
Sunnis.
Shias actually say that these kinds of Shias are like to be considered Muslims. There are kinds of Shias that some say are not to be considered even Muslim. Like from how different they are.
they
Some
have
are
their
actually very similar to us, Sunni. So they're considered like.
Anti-beta.
Yeah.
Look, I've just searched it up to make sure. Yeah, although you're right that a factor that he was a Shia ruling over Sunni, that was a factor, right? But it also says here combined effects of drought, economic disparities under his regime, and what's it called? Non-violent pro-reform protests, right? During the Arab Spring, these were bigger reasons for them to be uprisings. So
Wait,
uprisings.
can you give me the source? Can you give me the source?
Saudi Arabia
Britannica.com.
Britannica. Okay, can you send me a link of the article and where it says there were bigger consequences? Does
Isn't
it say that?
Saudi Arabia?
No, because
I'll read it back to back, right? So, combined effects of the drought and pre-existing economic disparities under the Assad regime contributed to the first non-violent pro-reform protests. In 2012, riding the wave of the Arab Spring uprisings. Divisions between the country's Sunni majority and ruling Alawite elite were also a factor. So they were a factor, they weren't the main point. That wasn't the main standpoint.
Okay, and what
May I say something?
Regime's harsh military crackdown escalated tensions, and by September
So what you're
2011...
trying to do is you're trying to say that the fact that Assad was an Alawite is not a big point, and it's not relevant. It's not as relevant as the other points. So therefore, your huge mistake that you made can be justified, can be passed off because it's not a big reason. Is that what it is?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I personally believe that this is the crux of the matter. If you lived in Syria, right, and you did not know that the president is a Shia, I'm trying to be like respectful here, like, of course. I love you. You're my akhi, you're my brother in Islam. But the fact that you didn't know that he was I was listening to you at first, my ears were open to you, but when you said that he was a Sunni, and your friends have told you you're a Sunni, with all due respect, I believe you're misinformed. Because me, as a person, I've not even done much research into this, and I know that this is a very evident thing, right? The majority of the revolters, the majority of the protesters, because I've done an entire thesis on the formation of ISIS, right? And the formation of ISIS has actually the extension of ISIS has a lot to do with the increasing increasing, what is it called? shit, I can't find my words, but the increasing tension in Syria, right? Because what is this? ISIS, Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, right? How did they start in Iraq, and how did they move into Syria? So from that information, right, what happened was that some of the although I accept that there are many people who are like they're unjust. There are people who have like on the other side revolting, right? But the fact that you are claiming to be knowledgeable about this and such a basic fact, you are misinformed on such a basic fact. I think it takes away from a lot of what you said.
Credibility. Takes away
Wow,
credibility.
you really grilled him.
I'm not trying to grill him. I'm trying to be respectful, But that's
It
that's
is
what
true.
it is.
Yeah, it is true.
Can I say something?
Such a basic fact that it's just
Okay, so
pointless to listen to him.
can I suggest a different topic so we don't go?
Yeah.
Like yeah. Why don't we talk about the Myanmar coup d'etat and the recent happenings there?
What are you on about?
Myanmar coup. Basically, they did a coup d'etat, and the whole country is now ruled under a quite tyrannical,
military.
or let's say dictator, basically. It
I don't
has
think we
become a
should talk-
dictatorship.
I don't think we should
Military
talk
boss.
about something if we don't know the
Yeah,
entirety
we
of the
don't.
situation.
Yes, I am quite not very knowledgeable on the subject, so none of us can really give an honest or
Does anyone-
really factual opinion or take on it, can we?
I don't think any of us can.
Does anybody
Yeah.
have anything
Does anyone have a
smart to
religious
say?
debate?
Oh no,
Yeah,
no, I
let's-
have a question
let-
here. It says, do you believe in ghosts, and are they explained by your religion?
Ghosts?
Yes.
Personally, as a Muslim, we believe in something called jinn. It's like I don't want to say different dimension, but they are creatures that we can't see with our own eyes, but we believe that they have normal lives. There's the bad jinn and the good jinn.
They are shaitans, right? If I remember correctly, the
Jinns
bad
are, yes.
jinns.
Yes, you're completely
Yes,
right.
Anti-Beta was educating me quite how do I say,
Passionately, hopefully.
good, very good actually.
Okay,
I picked up a lot of knowledge from that one.
Okay. By the way, I want to just like revisit this for a second. Somebody DM'd me. Tech DM'd me. Thank you. He says there is an encyclopedia from Britannica, the same source you were giving, that says Alawites are doing kufr, right? Which says they believe, and I know I've met Alawites personally. A lot of them are doing jihad in Iraq, right? They drink alcohol. They believe alcohol is permissible. They believe that the 5 pillars of Islam, right? Let me tell you, the basic doctrine of Alawite faith is the defecation of Ali. He is one member of a trinity corresponding roughly to the Christian
what do you
Father,
think is
Son,
what
and Holy
what is
Spirit.
Alawites?
Alawites interpret the
So
pillars of
the
Islam, the
viewers
5
don't know.
duties, and thus do not practice the Islamic duty. They celebrate
Explain
and
this in the chat.
some Christians and many Alawites practices are secret. They consider themselves moderate Shiites, not much different from the 12 verse, right? So they're
Listen, we go a bit too deep into this.
yeah. No, I'm just bringing up the fact that
May I say something?
yes, but apparently they're not Muslims at all. Like this is blatant kufr. So
Well,
that would
obviously.
take them out of the
Oh no.
this would take them out of Islam. I think Subway would agree with me. Would you not? Subway.
Yeah. Go for
Alright.
it. It's just
Okay, sorry. Who did I cut
Okay.
off now?
Yeah,
Crusader, go
I'm
ahead.
just gonna. Oh,
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
Let's
just
go
gonna
back to
say.
the original about ghosts
guys.
before we. Are you leaving, Astro?
Yeah, I have to go. Sorry. I won't be back, and I won't do that 30 minute thing again. Okay.
Okay.
Remember yesterday?
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
I'll see you.
Okay, Crusader.
Okay. Cool.
The thing I wanted to say, does religion really matter much when we look at wars? Does it really matter what really is the fuel? Isn't all that matters the people that are being killed for no reason whatsoever? I understand that we must understand the cause behind everything, but current problem is that people are getting killed, right?
Sorry, what is this question?
Yes.
true. Yeah.
Isn't that the most important thing here? How much does religion matter
Actually, he
if there are
didn't ask
people
anything
dying?
yet.
It's more the case of a misinterpretation of text, which is why.
But still, is religion a religion if there is nobody left alive to worship it, to follow its teachings?
Oh, I see.
Can you say the question again, but like really briefly?
Why are we looking at the religions part of it instead of the results of the conflicts?
Like the deaths
Ooh, the
and
conflict
money.
Yeah,
in
there is no
Syria.
divinity in this one. There's just blood and guts spread across the soil.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's true. but
Nothing
it's
divine
ironic.
to this. There's just bloodshed,
Yeah,
needless
I know.
carnage.
I know that's the thing. The real reason is because of misinterpretation. It tells in the religious text about killing and murder and war and stuff like that. It tells you there what it says, and yet they disobey it, which is the thing.
Oh, I understand that that most religions prohibit violence.
Yes. So, like at the end of the day, it's down to someone's choices. That is why people are dying. So it's a moral. If they're not even following their own text, then are they even following their religion in a way? If they're going out and seeking war, it's not even like a mistake. They're just continuing and pushing on with this.
It is extremism, and extremism
yes.
is it in itself kind of heretical, isn't it? To just throw away some of the teachings in order to pursue
throw away and
more conquest.
cherry pick them. Yeah, cherry pick it as a conquest. Yeah, that's the problem with the many of the religions in terms of they misinterpret the text. For example,
That seems
Jesus
reasonable.
didn't kill anyone.
They're not Muslims,
And
and they're talking about
people
it
that are
very
Christian
reasonably.
killing people. Yeah,
Or
and then
like
it
they're not
paints
religious. I don't know.
the same with ISIS in today's
Well,
age.
one of them might be
they
religious.
they don't God and just call themselves Muslim, and then they just paint it in a bad shape. So yeah, again, it's a misrepresentation and bad shape, which is why people are running away from religion because they're not educated because the world is saying, oh, it's these ISIS, they're Muslim, and then that's being painted in a bad light, or whether it be Crusaders, people think, oh,
Obviously,
it's
they
all
aren't
the
Muslims.
religion's
Like
fault.
anyone who does what they
Instead
do
of,
is just
what's it called?
It's
Not
always the
realising.
politics that end people.
Yes, it's
it
the
was never
politics.
religion that got people killed. It was always the politics.
100% reasonable, very
The
reasonable.
people and their own.
Yeah,
they
it
don't
was
follow
always
it.
politics. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally agree.
There you go.
You
So that's
sounded
really
sarcastic.
there's no. I don't know if anyone
What?
has anything against that really, but
You sounded sarcastic.
Yeah,
You sounded
No, like how can religion be the no, like these are.
I know what you mean, but when you said it, you just
We
sounded
we
sarcastic.
do have Christians here, and I'm just like getting along with them. I don't want to kill. It just doesn't.
That's how
It's
it
never religious. It's always about the economy, the politics, and all of that.
death and destruction.
So back to the original question of ghosts, because we love
Oh
getting
yeah,
off
the ghost. We
topic.
didn't say. We were
Come on,
thinking
guys.
spirits.
Y'all gotta get better.
Yeah, because
The Bible references ghosts, not just
Yes.
the Holy Ghost, but
Oh,
Luke 24:39. Jesus says, "Look at my hands and feet, so you can see that this is really me. Touch me and make sure I am not a ghost, because ghosts don't have bodies."
No.
As you can
Actually,
see,
that's wrong, IKEA. Sorry, but
Huh?
wasn't that because they thought Jesus was a spirit?
Believe so.
They
Don't
believed like he was like,
Spirits and
touch
ghosts
me with
are
your own hands,
kind of
for
the
a
same thing.
spirit has no flesh and bones. Something like that, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's just
so-
saying. No, Antiveta didn't. He's not talking about spirits and ghosts. He's saying that they thought Jesus was a spirit or a ghost at first.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that spirits and ghosts, it's an interchangeable word.
Do
Yeah.
exist. I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm telling that Jesus do.
So
Ghost-
may I something?
Ghost, like he says, touch me and make sure I am not a ghost, because ghosts do not have bodies, as you can see that I do.
Yeah.
Quick
Yeah,
question.
in Islam, the
Yes.
idea
Are we
of jinn,
talking about
we
the
definitely
ghosts
do
that
know that they have
linger
bodies.
on due to
Yeah. I think jinn is the closest thing to whatever like the ghost or spirit like, and we do believe in them. I personally believe in them.
Angels as well, don't they?
Angels can also too, but they manifest as for example, angels can manifest as humans. That's also something else too. And
they can walk between the realms, so
yeah, they can walk between one and
we're
the other.
talking about the people who are left to finish their unfinished, right?
That's demonic spirits. Unfinished business. They have revenge. Revenges. Angels don't do revenge.
Yeah.
No, and that's not really correct.
Oh.
Some linger around
Yeah,
to
so
protect their
essentially
people.
what happened, according to the Book of Enoch, when... Yeah, you've never heard of the Book of Enoch?
Yeah, I have heard of it, but it's not of the 66 books.
Well, it's a
It's
part
not
of
the
the Ethiopic. I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah, but it's not part of the 66 books, so I
But
wouldn't,
can we
you know.
just?
I mean, it was taken out. I think that's something to note. That it was.
Yeah, it is. That's what it just shouldn't. You know, when you're talking about this stuff, it's a bit. You know.
But I
gotta be
mean,
careful.
you can't really not reference, because I mean, it does explain why the Great Flood happened. And
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you're
You
all right.
understand?
Yeah, I understand. So it's not entirely that. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so essentially what happened regarding demons was the fallen angels were having sex, and Enoch, they were known as God's children, right? So this is referring to the angels.
Yeah, this is
that
more of a
fell,
Christian.
right?
Christian, yeah.
And they were impregnating women, and you have Nephilim. These guys, these fallen
very weird.
angels, I believe there are 3 different angels dispatched to fix the different things. One was told to Noah to prep up, fam. The other one was
I feel like I want to like tackle more about what Anti-Beta said about like getting along with Christians more than we do with Shia. I feel like when I thought about it, I feel like it was very true.
It's fun.
Although like they're Muslims, but the way of thinking is way more different than us, which I found like pretty fascinating if I do say so.
Cons that can do unfinished business, according to Christianity at least, because you got to remember nobody.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like we've already he went over this topic for enough. Like he said, he used it to explain
So,
that
like, I believe in the Bible.
that is a valid reason for conflict
Mhm.
between Sunnis and Shias, and that's why, for example, Muslims and Christians can coexist. Or so, let's say Sunni Muslims and Christians can exist peacefully with each other, more so than Shias and Sunnis can exist together. But again, like I live with Shia. I have Shia neighbors. We're completely fine.
Yeah.
I have Christian neighbors in Egypt. We're completely fine. So like there can be peace between any group.
Alive.
But maybe as a general community, maybe like
I think,
there seems to be a certain trend.
Yeah.
That's what he was kind of alluding to.
Is in this that have died so far up till now, and up till judgment, right before judgment, are going to be in this phase where you will be in some sort of limbo, right? So you won't be floating in midair, but you'll be confined in a certain space. You understand? And you'll just be in some sort of limbo, and then you'll be judged.
Yeah, and also remember that time is different too. So by the time, obviously, with the place of where this limbo is, the way time is completely different. So where, for example, when you probably reached that point,
yeah, I just saw that.
Okay, then by then it would have something judgment might have already happened already. I can't really say like for sure, but I can say that time works completely differently.
Yeah,
that's kind of why earlier when for those who weren't, I referenced the difference between the time that supernatural beings like God and different angels experience compared to us.
It's like I don't know what it is. He exists. Remember, God exists outside of time and space, of what we perceive in this and what we measure. So, yeah, again, what God gave us in the scripture is I wouldn't say it's exact. That's not really a measurement. You can't put a measurement on that. What that
You
is,
can't put a measurement,
yeah,
but
what it is, it's
I
like
believe
an example. It's an example and a symbol. Like it's an example of what really that it's one day. No, because if it said no,
biblical
if you read
scholars
the text, if you read the text,
biblical scholars at least have said that for angels, I believe a blink of an eye for them is about 6,000 years. Now,
yeah, but I
how would they
you
be
know,
able to measure that? That's
no,
something else.
don't,
However,
yeah.
the idea still exists that would be the
Yeah,
most
but
logical assumption.
but no, but there's a thing too. Like there's one part you're forgetting when you said the one day is the Lord is like 1,000 years. You have
No,
to
I said
remember.
one blink of an eye
Oh,
for
no, no, no.
angelic beings.
I don't know. I know. But
By
I'm
the
saying
way,
is, it says
seems like
one
the
day.
fight, the event today is gonna be at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
for me.
Your time? Yeah. That's gonna be 2 my time, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
One day can be 1,000 years. This is it's basically saying it's timeless. It's just
Exactly.
so.
And then you can just multiply 6,000 times 1,000.
No.
That's exactly what you would have to do, because
no
you would have to do. Apparently, according to the Bible, the Earth has been around for 6,500 years. Okay, this is what the Bible. Because you have to understand what it's saying. You have to say, okay, well, let's use some type of linear time that we can logically assume for now. It might not be the correct thing, right? It might not be correct, right? But you have to understand the concept of it in grand scheme of things.
The concept that got this timeless. Yes, that's it. There you go.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Is there any more questions in this debate question thing? Okay. Oh, here we go. Why are Christians automatically homophobic to LGBT folks? So let's.
I feel like that applies to us as well, right?
Because
we could delve
because
into the conversation and give the Islamic perspective, yeah.
On your thing, or because you think it's a part of you.
I feel like
it's now.
this
If we
applies-
say you disagree, it's now hate.
I feel like this
So
applies
that's the
to
question.
Muslims as well.
Yeah.
When you enter being Muslim, you instantly become a homophobe. I feel like it's
That's what I mean. That's the same problem. It's a case of where, because now what's happening is people are now saying it's a part of them. We cannot disagree. This is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think saying
what it will
the same
come
thing
down
is-
to is because we are seen as hated. Seen as haters. They'll have an excuse to put us, like, lock us away or do other stuff because we are apparently the haters now, and we deserve jail time and we deserve to be cancelled, essentially, because we disagree with something that's been made to be non-disagreeable over time. It never used to be that, but now it's a stigma where you can't. It's now a part of you now. When some LGBT people think that they are, some people think it's a choice, and some people don't.
Guys,
So-
listen.
Yep.
I want to say something. Okay.
Yep.
Everybody who's listening, send me friend requests. Okay.
No.
I'm at 99. I want to get to above 100. Okay. Every single one of you who is a person who breathes air. 100, 101. Come on, gentlemen. Ladies, 104.
What's this man doing?
I've been waiting 107.
Why
And
does he
also
want a friend
remember,
request?
boost the survey. The server, you skip the line. If you have not skipped the line and you boosted the server, DM me. I will personally call you up here. Okay? Just a friendly reminder. Go ahead with your talk. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I'll say so. Simply, it's a case of where, for example, there's a preacher on the street talking about their objective morality in a book. Okay, not them of their own word, but what it says in the Bible. Okay, and they apparently are haters now. Some of them scream. Some of them actually have civil conversations, but some of them scream at the preacher and basically start swearing and being absolutely abusive, and that is hate, basically. And the preacher's just talking quietly about their objective morality. So yet again, it's a case of where who's the haters now, and now what's happening is, as I said before, what's happening now. Politics is now painting a picture against religion entirely, and basically saying it's all garbage. That's what's happening. It's becoming secular world, and so now what's going to happen is it's going to come to a point if, for example, if your religion doesn't fit our narrative of the world, then
you're automatically a hater.
Yeah, you're automatically hated, and this is the problem. Did you just have siblings? No. No. Actually, that's no. Oh no.
Yo, anti-beta.
And so yeah, I don't know. There's no more questions on the. There is one more question now. What if aliens disagree with your religion? What if they have their own religion? Oh
my God!
Well,
wow.
let's assume that they exist.
It's that guy again.
Do you believe that aliens exist? Honestly.
No, he believes it on a probability standpoint, which is
no. I'm asking in general. In general, do you guys believe that aliens exist?
Yes.
I have no reason to believe they don't, but like at the
I
same time,
I believe they do. If I'm being honest.
Okay.
In my point of view, spirits.
In my point of view, if aliens did in fact have a different religion, that wouldn't be bad for us, because they're so different from us. Suppose, imagining that God would obviously prescribe them a religion that's different from the religion we have. That would be completely normal, and I don't see it as disproving our religion.
Oh, what's that religion then? That's what's that religion? Is it going to be a united religion? That's another question. What if some alien, something that we've never seen before, comes down and says we can all work together on this, and if you just all worship me, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where
deluded aliens.
Fall trap.
When I think of aliens, and if I think when they exist, I feel like they're human. Like they're not humans, but I feel like they do have a civilization, for example. They do have religion. I don't think they're just creatures roaming around. You know, I feel like they have.
Well,
their
then
own
again,
order.
we're talking. Let's say hypothetically.
Yeah. Is my internet right now?
Sorry that I was so suddenly my internet has gone out. Stupid Serbian internet. I always hated it.
I think all our internet's decided to disconnect for Discord. I mean, Discord itself.
Just people. Honestly, they didn't like what I said, so they had to cancel my Wi-Fi.
We're talking about aliens and religion and whatnot.
Oh, super, yo.
Yes. So, right. Was somebody already talking, or?
I just want to advise something. We're gonna try to end it early today, due to the fight, Logan Paul. And,
it's on Egyptian time.
What if I don't care about that?
Yeah. I know. And
there's a Logan. Okay.
I'm just not interested in Logan.
Logan or
sorry,
May?
I can't.
No.
It's
I wonder, bro.
I'm not going to that.
Obviously, me with.
No, I'm going for Logan.
I feel like Logan Paul is just too large for, for the. Are they in the same weight class?
Bro.
Logan just needs to keep his distance. I feel like he can win.
It's every day, bro.
It's
every day, bro.
That's Jake. That's Jake.
Wait a minute.
Wrong guy.
I got it wrong.
That's the more annoying one.
Josh, my man. I want to ask you something real quick. You're Protestant, yes?
Yes.
Like low church Protestant, like you're not like Lutheran or Anglican or anything.
No.
Okay. All right. So, the question that Sultan asked earlier, right? Did Jesus have siblings?
Okay.
You said no. Do you affirm the perpetual virginity of Mary?
Oh, is that another? I do not know that topic at all. So,
okay.
Can you explain to me a little bit what you mean?
What it means, or?
Yeah, perpetual virgin. Yeah.
Basically, it's just the belief that So obviously, Mary gave birth to Christ. The whole virgin birth thing, and that for the rest of her life she remained a virgin.
Okay. Yes.
She didn't like give birth to any other children. She just, was perpetually virgin.
Yes.
So you do believe that?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. Because that's not common among low church Protestants.
You hear? Can you just add a description to our stream? Or like
I was just
send
curious.
me a description. I'll just put it in the stream.
Know what they believe. I asked you
Sure.
what.
No, wait. Who believes?
What does a low church Protestant
Oh, low
believe
church.
that
Yeah.
comes to the merit?
Think like typically not as much emphasis on the sacraments, and typically they have more modern worship. Like think like Baptists and that sort of thing compared to like Orthodox and traditional
Okay.
Catholicism, Anglicanism, Lutheranism, so
I
forth.
see. Yeah, for me, as said, I just read the Bible. Really, I don't, entail with much religiony side of things.
I see.
More relationship wise, because that for me, at the end of the day, is going to be more important than religiony, which is the common thing I have with
okay.
If you know what I mean. So
I see. You're okay. So you're well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wait. So I want to make sure the Muslims, just making sure because from what I know from when I asked my teacher, aliens are not like denied in the Quran. So there is a possibility that they're aliens. Am I right?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
As in, God never said that He didn't make them, and God never said that He did make them.
And
So there's no.
and we already believe that there are.
I'd say for in the Christian perspective, it doesn't like necessarily deny it per se either, but I think
I don't think
you'd
it's
have to
valuable
ask-
to have it in a
yeah.
book like that. I feel like it would be like
Yeah.
a kid thing.
You would have to. There's a variety of things you'd have to take into account in that regard, and as far as we know, if like, well, first you have to question whether or not they have sin, if they have original sin. Second off, whether they do or don't, the whole like, oh, what if they had a different religion thing? I'm not sure that would entirely contradict Christianity because the idea of the Bible, it's like, God's special revelation to mankind, right? It's like there's a general sense in which we can know God, like we can look at creation, see what He's made, and like, there's like a general sense in which you can come to the knowledge of a supreme deity, right? Like deists, for example, or just general theism. And of course, you have other religions, like you have the polytheistic religions. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily out of reason, like I wouldn't say it's unreasonable from a Christian perspective that there could exist extraterrestrial life that aren't explicitly Christian, that may or may not hold to differing viewpoints.
I know what I think I know what they are. For me, aliens are demons. That's what I think they are.
May I ask something?
Yeah.
If aliens were to have a different religion, and they are superior in every aspect to humans, doesn't that make the religion more valid?
No, not necessarily, because
again, it depends on how different they are from us.
So let's say. Wait, you want to take this? Go ahead.
Yeah, sure I can. Or if you want to take it, we can do
Yeah,
either.
I was gonna make like the point where like it's kind of the same as saying, okay, so just because I'm well versed in this subject does not mean I am well versed in another subject, right? So if I'm, for example, very good like at biology, more advanced than you, doesn't mean I'm gonna be more advanced in math.
True.
Right? So it's two different things that you can't
Yeah.
correlate.
Oh, that's actually.
No,
I feel like
my actual question was, what if they were to be superior in every possible aspect?
So how do
Well,
you
here's the thing.
how do
here's
you
the
be
thing. You're
religiously
presuming that like technological or genetic superiority necessarily equates to philosophical or theological superiority. Like for instance, that would be kind of like saying, hold on, I'll make fun of Protestants. Actually, no. Okay, obviously when I say this, Muslims don't get offended. It'd be like saying that just because the Muslims, like from a Christian perspective, it'd be like saying just because the Muslims conquered the Byzantine Empire, the Byzantine Christians, that therefore Christianity is automatically false. Or if you took it from any other perspective, like just because Protestants beat Catholics or Catholics beat Protestants, that doesn't, in like conflict or whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean that those religions are inherently more valid.
I have a question to Crusader. So you say if they're superior in every way, do you mean religiously as well, right? You mean what do you mean by they're religiously superior to us? So they
worded my question pretty weirdly. My actual intent was to ask, and well, I kind of said it in a wrong way, but what I actually was wondering, are they superior to humans in
Yes.
God's perspective?
No,
if
not
they're
in
superior
not in
in
God's
every
perspective.
other way.
Not in a spiritual sense. I think both Christians and Muslims can agree that there's a sense in which humans are
this is
the
where
pinnacle, so to speak.
you know, a poor
So in both
human
Islam
could be
and
for God could be
Christianity-
way better than a rich human. You know, it's what he does as a Muslim. It's what he does in life.
as-
Like how many nice things he does in life. Does he follow God's rules and whatever?
Strong.
Okay.
Superior creature, there is just a different creature, you know. That is by Darwin. So what I'm asking is in a spiritual sense.
In a spiritual
Oh,
sense. Well,
then
no.
angels have more power.
Yeah.
In a sense.
I'm talking between human and animal.
Spiritually, for example, spiritually, yes, we are above both animals and angels.
Yes, but
If you remember in the creation of Adam, alayhi salam, God ordered all the angels to bow to him because he's higher than him. He has the free will, which makes him better.
That's true, but remember also, obviously now it's a case of where, for example, without God's help, right now we are easily manipulated by demonic spirits, easily without God's help. So I'm saying is that because we sinned, we are now just easily manipulated.
So we are still in our infant stage, like children who are easily manipulated.
We're in a fallen state.
We are corrupted by
I
sin.
disagree. The thing because
That's a
what
Christian
separates,
point of
for
view.
example, us
Yeah,
and
I
the
don't
angels
feel
and the
like,
animals.
yeah.
The animals are also believed, like in Islam. Correct me if I'm wrong, Muslims. That they're in a constant state of worship to Allah, even the animals.
Yeah, especially on Friday.
So-
They wait like till Judgment Day on Friday.
So for us, for example, what differentiates, for example, humans, what makes them better than angels and what's it called, animals, is that we have the free will to serve
choose
them
right or
rather
wrong.
than being forced to serve them. Exactly. So, like for example, me choosing to pray to God is more valuable than an angel being forced to serve to God. You get what I mean? Because I'm doing it out of my own free will and love for Him, not out of His own command.
That's why
I think what they might be referring to, Josh.
They might be
is
higher,
similar to
right?
archangels.
No.
Right, Omar?
If you look at it from the sense of free will, we said that humans have free will. If they follow the word of Allah, the humans are better than the angel. If they disobey, they're worse than animals. Now, jinns, they also have free will. So we can assume that if they obey Allah, they can get to the level of angels. Satan or Shaitan, he used to be good, and Allah put him in the ranks of the angels.
Yeah.
But when he became bad, he obviously we know,
He became, yeah.
So for us, obviously, they were given free will too, and we believe that a third of angels got cast out of heaven, as well as Satan himself. So the angels know that the rest of the angels know that if they choose to disobey God, then they know where it leads. So for them,
Isn't it also typically believed that like they're no longer capable of defecting?
No, they can, but they know that it's not like God knows everything, and his ways are what's it called? They can choose if they wanted to, but
Most of the time
I don't
I hear
understand how does that like is it if God has got everything for you, for the angels and all like can obviously it's God's infinite, he can knows what you need in like so think about it. Why would the angels defect when this person can give you everything that you need? Like, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like logical to defect, which is why they don't
So that's
defect.
another place where our two religions separate. Because
Yeah, that's
they
it.
don't have a free will.
Oh yeah, no. That's the thing. No, they have free. No, angels do have the freedom to choose, but it's a case of.
I think he's saying that in Islam.
Yeah, I'm saying
they
that
don't.
in Islam that they
Oh.
don't have free will, but while yours
Yeah,
they obviously have free will, but they have no reason to defect, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they have free, but they have no reason to because.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they know where it leads, obviously, and that God gives the desires of. It's just like, someone that's infinite, like knows everything about you and how he created you, and knows like all the aspects about you and wants to help you. Like, why would you try to run away or defect? And that's that's a whole nother debate and conversation.
Yes, why would you even want to run away from somebody who loves you and does everything good for you, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
That's another question. Why would you run away from that? Like,
Why are you
doesn't make
supporting
sense.
a Christian
So
argument?
surely, infinitely, you can help.
No, what
I
they're
guess it
saying,
makes sense.
it makes
he
sense,
was talking about
like,
the Christian.
it makes sense generally,
Yes,
like,
concept in most.
like, you know, if you,
Yeah, it would make sense, yeah, but our
Yeah.
religion, as in, like,
as
they
us
don't have the
Muslims, we
choice.
don't believe. Yeah, they don't have the choice. They're forced. They were created just for worshiping God. But I'm saying, like what they're saying in general, that if you have God, if you have someone that provides you with everything good, you don't have a reason to disobey him. I'm just saying, like, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Musician, actually. If you didn't know that, he was a musician.
Hey, question. Earlier when I was on my phone, but before I could join the voice chat, I saw Astronauts had asked, "Do you think humanity will be able to become more powerful than God?" Did you guys already answer that?
No, God is all powerful, all knowing.
No,
Right, yeah.
God
it's
created
useless.
us.
You know, it's actually pathetic. It's yet again the same as the Children of Angels. Why would they go against someone that loves them, number one, and wants to help them, and also could infinitely throw you, like, if you are like doing completely, if you're completely disobeying and completely doing everything wrong, right? If you just, like, why would you, like, it's someone that it's just, why would you plot against someone that can just say bye bye? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think from like a philosophical standpoint on this question, just doesn't make any sense because by definition, omnipotence, God is all powerful. Like, you can't become more powerful than all powerful.
That's a paradox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only is it impossible to become all powerful as is, it's impossible to go beyond it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Yet again, it's a case of where, it's why don't we trust in God today? It's yet again because of pride, and that's why Satan fell in the first place.
If we
It's because
knew
of pride.
that we can,
Pride is where you think you're better than God, which is what's happening today, and that's why Satan fell because of his own pride. He thought he was better than God. Realistically, we
So
as
that's
girls
what,
think.
I mean, we have similar, like, we believe he fell, like, not like, you know, he's was sentenced to hell, not because he thought he was better than God, because he thought he was better than Adam.
I have a call.
Oh,
I actually have a Bible verse that.
Oh no, Garrett! I remember you from the other server, bro.
Yeah, you remember me, bro? Yep.
Didn't you like troll?
No, I wasn't trolling. What do you mean?
Oh boy.
What are you talking about? Okay, well, I have a Bible verse for this specifically.
I don't know. You said you were Iraqi, and then you're Muslim, and then.
I feel like
I am a Muslim. I am a Muslim. Alhamdulillah.
Okay. And mashallah.
It's gonna be like the Father is greater than I type thing.
I feel like
So
if he,
because he fell because he denied God's command to bow to Adam because he thought, how could this piece of clay be better than me?
Exactly.
So then he was sentenced to hell.
Yeah,
And he basically,
So in both cases, it's a result of pride, but in Christianity, it's a result of pride towards God, and in the other case, it's pride over man.
Yeah.
So, I have a quote for this. In Genesis 12:14, it states, "I am eternal, I am one, but the Jews are many, and the niggers as well." What do you guys think about this?
Wait,
That is ultimate racist.
So it says in Genesis 12:14, the niggers are
No,
many.
it
What do
doesn't.
you guys
Stop,
think about
stop
this?
telling lies.
It does.
Okay, wow. I'm gonna mute that. I'm gonna mute that.
You said Genesis 12:14.
Genesis 12:14, it states the niggers are many, right? I am
It
eternal, I am
says,
one, but the niggers
and
are
it
many.
came to pass that when Abram was coming to Egypt, the Egyptian beheld the woman that she was very fair.
That's really false, actually. I did my research. That's not what it said.
It's
at all.
You're just
What?
lying. You're just such a big
You're
liar.
you're
I'm
just
telling you, Garrett's a troll from the.
saying
Garrett's
BS.
like a troll from
Anyway, I feel like
the guy came in. No, Garrett came in like the other server. We were discussing U.S. interventionism,
Yeah.
and the guy just out of nowhere started crying, claiming that people bombed his parents or something.
Bro.
Like,
yeah, that's messed up. I feel like if humans could be stronger than God, if a human community could be stronger, I feel like that kind of defeats the point. Like,
yeah, by
yeah.
nature, if you can defeat God by nature, that makes him not God because God.
Yeah,
is that which
exactly.
is
Like,
powerful.
yeah, like, yeah.
what we're forgetting is another thing too, is that we have free will and that God allowed that, which is why people are like, oh, okay.
God granted
why
us free
doesn't
will.
God stop me? Why doesn't God stop me right now? You know, when people say that, they challenge, and they don't realize that it's actually His patience and love and His mercy, which is why He isn't just stopping you right there, right there and now.
Yeah.
I have a
If
question
that was the case,
sort of
then He would
related
just
to
stop
that.
you right
Did you
there.
guys answer the question about ghosts?
Yeah.
I have a question though about that topic, kind of related to that.
Yeah.
So in Christianity, there's like what I know, and I'm not very knowledgeable about it, but there's like three gods, right?
No, not three gods. All right, let's explain this again. Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So no, don't worry, don't worry. It's
Yeah, the
topic
guy
that's
asking
good
is
to
a
discuss,
Muslim.
'cause,
Yeah,
He
yeah.
when you
probably
have a
like
person
heard
that
this
doesn't
story
believe in Trinity and another does,
from
it
like
can
his
be
Islamic teacher,
confusing.
but the Christians have a really specific way of explaining it to make it not look as bad
Yeah.
as if it was explained bluntly.
Mhm.
Like instead of saying they're a triple,
yeah.
they say it's triune, which triune means 3 in 1.
Three, but made like I think that was they explained it yesterday.
1
They
plus
said
1 plus 1 equals 1. Yeah.
exactly, yeah, exactly. They did that yesterday. Yeah.
They all are equally part of the. They all equally share in the divine essence.
But they
So
have
there's
different
one
roles.
God, even if there are like three persons, so to speak.
All right. So who are they?
Hmm?
Who are they? The three persons. Who are they?
There's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
I have a question. The question is, let's say the father wants someone to, for example, like something to happen. Let's say for someone to die at, let's say Tuesday, for example. Okay.
Yeah.
And the son wants that exact same person to die at Wednesday.
Well,
Whose word
okay, so
goes?
here's the automatic issue in your question.
Yeah. Yeah.
God does not have disagreements within Himself.
Oh.
They all are unified
One.
in their will and their desires.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. I'm not really.
Yeah.
I don't even know much about the topic. Just wanted to know.
It's
No,
just
yeah, don't
long.
worry.
That's very long.
Sorry, but if that's the case, then what's the problem with just treating God as one?
Well, we say that God is one essence, three divine persons. There is only one God.
So how does that differ from the Muslim perspective again?
Because you guys don't have
Jesus.
You guys don't believe in
Son.
You guys don't believe in three persons of one essence. You believe one
One
person, quote unquote.
One
of
person,
essence.
one essence. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? Slipping it basically. لم يلد ولم يولد. Cannot begotten is not begotten, but Jesus is begotten from God, if I'm not mistaken, right? Although they are the same essence.
Okay, so like
They're the same essence, but he's begot by God.
it's
by the
a
Father,
very
sorry.
complicated topic, but that is technically an accurate statement to make.
Yeah,
but
so that's right.
yeah.
Why is saying Jesus is the Son of God more accurate than saying brother, for example?
Than saying what?
Jesus is God's brother, since they were like they've always both existed.
Because we'd say Son of God. Well, in the eternal sense, we'd say Son of God reflects the relationship between Father and Son, right? Like, there's the whole thing in the Nicene Creed that's like, I believe in one Lord Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God, begotten of the Father before all ages, and so forth, so forth. So, in a sense, the Son of God thing, that's like the closest human analogy we have to the eternal relationship between God the Father and God the Son. In turn, as well, it's also accurate to call him God, the Son of God, in the temporal sense, like on Earth, because, I mean, as you know, we'd say that, to quote the Creed, the Nicene Creed, he was, what's the specific phrasing? He was incarnate of the Holy Spirit and the Virgin Mary and became man. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that in like the carnal sense. I just mean like it was through the power of God, through the miracle of God, that Christ was conceived in the womb of Mary. So in that sense, it's also accurate to call him Son
Spirit
of
of
God.
God. There's the Spirit. Just yeah. There's the Spirit of God who entered Mary. Yeah. Scripture.
I just find this stuff very confusing sometimes.
I don't even fully understand it yet, but okay.
No, yeah, the Trinity is a very confusing topic, even for
It's
many
very
Christians.
long. It's very long, and there is scripture to back up a lot of this.
And
it's what's it called?
And here's a general tip: if anybody ever tries to like give an example or analogy or whatever of how the Trinity works, like you'll hear the example of like with the water, water, ice, water vapor. You'll hear analogies like that. Here, just dismiss any analogy here, because quite frankly, all human analogies of how the Trinity works are going to fall short simply because there's a degree to which we simply just can't fully understand it, given we're mere mortals, we're humans. And
yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So always be cautious if you hear anybody trying to like compare the Trinities to something.
Yeah.
Alright. What happens if you like believe in the Father and the Son, but like the Holy Spirit, you say no, that's not a God?
Then you're still not Christian, because Trinitarianism.
What the fuck are you then? Sorry.
You'd be called a binitarian, I think, but you wouldn't be a Christian. You'd be, well, a heretic, obviously, because to be a Christian, you have to.
Then how? What?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how Christians justify their belief.
Yeah, and I feel like he didn't give a full explanation, but
yeah,
I feel like him himself can't explain what the Trinity is, which is the whole three people, one essence.
All baptism is to me is dunking someone in the water.
No,
but we'd say
but what does it like symbolize?
So so there's a symbolic component and there's like the literal component to what it does, and traditional Christian understanding of baptism. So you have the symbolic concept of like St. Paul makes the analogy of in baptism we're buried with Christ. You see him, you see in baptism you're put underneath the water and then you're raised up with Christ, so to speak. So it kind of represents that the burial and resurrection in that regard, but more literally like the actual effect, the sacramental effect. First off, traditionally baptism has been viewed as the entryway, so to speak, into the church, into the covenant of the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how the Jews, how they did circumcision, right? Like that was how you were entered into the Jewish covenant. In Christianity, baptism replaces that. And then in addition, while not every denomination agrees on this, I'd say most traditional ones do, baptism is also considered to impart sanctifying grace that cleanses you of your sin, so to speak.
No.
Is it normal?
That's different.
No, that's the traditional view in most churches. Obviously, a lot of Protestant churches don't hold to that, but most traditional historical Christian churches hold to it.
Yeah.
And like also, you guys use holy water, right? Like
no. I don't.
No, that depends on who you ask.
No,
use like any tap water or something.
No.
You have to keep in mind, Josh is a Protestant and I'm Orthodox, so we'll have different views on this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wait, so like you guys have holy water though in Christianity,
We do.
right?
We do.
How do you go about
Protestants
getting
don't.
that though? That's my question.
Isn't
How
that
do you
like
get it? How do you get holy water?
Zamzam for us?
No,
But it's
basically,
not
a
holy.
priest comes to your house.
Not
and makes
entirely
the-
sure how the holy water
I'll tell you
functions.
why I don't personally believe
Let's
it.
see how they explain it.
I think holy water is materialistic, so I don't think it has any effect on something that's spirit-led. That's why I disagree with it.
We have.
So for example, when you have someone that tries
We
to
have
burn
Zamzam.
like leaves
we
in
have
your
Zamzam.
house, when you have someone that tries to burn leaves in your house to get spirits away, that's not going to do anything. Like for me, it's a case. I think it's a spiritual thing because it says you must be.
Yeah, everyone
baptized
watching
with
our
the
stream,
Holy
guys,
Spirit.
feel free
Okay.
to speak in the chat.
And being
Yes, of course.
baptized, like in what's it called? Just like babies get baptized, right? Like that.
Is there anything in the stream? Oh yeah, hello. We have Sean. Welcome to the stream.
And this would be this whole.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I mean by you have to be baptized. That's right. Holy water.
I believe in holy water.
Realistic.
but-
I think it's materialistic.
Yeah, we all almost.
Unfortunately,
We have something
I've got
that's
someone
similar, but it's not entirely the
Zamzam
same.
is holy water though.
But it's doesn't do the same functions. It
It's
doesn't.
not the same function. Yeah, it's not the
But
same
it is
function,
holy
like,
water.
because
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
holy water. As
Exactly.
in, like,
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
like, it was a gift from God.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. For me, it's a case of where, for example, you could say like about the Moses striking a stick, so a materialistic thing being given the power of God, and he strikes a stick down, and it's the thing, the rock like made water gushing out of it. So for me, it's a case of where has that holy water
Alright,
been anointed
I have
by
a-
God actually, or is it just some priest that's like, I anoint this holy water and I
He
now
makes
call
the
it
sign of
holy
the cross
water?
over it.
Okay, so I have a question.
Mhm.
Yeah, what?
So one of my friends is asking here, should baptism happen at birth or when a person is ready to accept Christ?
I would say
I
at
think it's
birth.
off. I would, yeah, that's very different. for me, I haven't been baptized yet. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not.
I haven't either, to be quite honest.
So for me,
So
it's
you-
a case of where most people, right? Because Jesus got baptized in water, so it's something that definitely something you do. But for example, then Super J, we could go onto the whole thing about the Robert and the cross and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's a whole nother problem. But that's a whole nother topic there. But
So,
I'm saying is
I think before we continue with any further discussion, we need to get a Catholic in here.
Oh no, okay. Oh no. Yeah.
Gang up on the Protestant.
I'm not a Catholic, but I do believe that the motives of why you baptize someone do matter because
Yeah, I think the motive.
circumcision can happen for a lot of reasons. Like there are health benefits and there are like religious benefits. And if I choose to circumcise my child because of the health benefits, because I'm an atheist, it does matter because it will still be the same as his, I don't know, friends or whatever, and he won't feel embarrassed, but he doesn't like relate himself to the religion if he doesn't want to. I think the motives of the parents should be very clear from the start.
That is
But
true.
do you
I
think-
am actually circumcised, even though I'm not Jewish or pretty much belong to any religion. It does not
It's
matter.
actually become very popular recently because apparently there are many health benefits, but
There was
I
problems
wouldn't
with
want
my health, so
someone.
that's
I'd
why.
say when it comes to baptism, though. Wait, Josh, so would you say you don't believe in infant baptism?
What's that? Is it infinite?
Infant.
Infant.
Like
Oh,
baby.
I think it's quite like a ceremonial. I wouldn't say it's like, you know.
It doesn't count.
I would say it doesn't because some people get baptized again after they've accepted Christ. So for me, it's a case of where if that was the
That's
case,
what-
some people don't. Some
Thing is,
people, some people don't. That's the thing. That's
Typically, traditionally, you're not supposed to have a second baptism. You should
yes,
only
I
get
know,
baptized
but then
once,
some people get like this is the thing. It's just not split in the church again. So it's a case of where for me it's that I haven't, and obviously,
Okay,
for
so
me, I
I'd say-
personally would accept Christ before getting baptized. That's my opinion. You can, some people do share my view, but then others like don't. So it's just, that's just up to the,
So for me, on the whole matter, I'd say I'm when it comes to when you should get baptized for infants, if you have Christian parents, or well, at least one Christian parent, I guess, I'd say you should baptize your child if you have a child, right? Obviously, if you're a convert, that's a bit different because you don't have that.
Child.
But
What if you don't have a child?
well, then you
Okay,
obviously
you
can't
can't
baptize a child
baptize.
that doesn't exist.
Okay,
so.
I do have a follow-up question. So you think they should be baptized at birth, right? If they have a Christian
think
birth. Okay, so someone was asking if you think they should be baptized at birth, why was Jesus Christ baptized much later by John per the KJV Bible?
Okay.
Because you see, that's like he's giving an example, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So like you have to remember when Christ came, right? When he came, there wasn't yet a
All right, Sean,
Christian
thank you so
church or
much for the
anything
question. Thank you so much for participating.
of baptism was just beginning, right? So, and keep in mind, this wasn't even when the sacrament of baptism was a thing yet. This was just like the baptism of John the Baptist, so to speak, right? Like it was like reflection, like it was looking forward to the actual sacramental baptism that came with Christ and, the church. So I'd say that he got baptized as an adult, A, because baptism didn't exist before then in the Christian sense of it.
Okay.
And B, because he was giving it as an example unto those who would convert to Christianity.
So I have input for this, which is why I got Mercy to put me in. One, hello Mercy, hello Super, how you guys doing?
Hey,
Two, so my point is, they were asking if you should be baptized as an infant or baptized as an adult, right?
Right.
The point of baptism, of course, you explained the traditional views of it, but tradition and the way God intended are two different things, right? From what I understand, what I've been told from my pastor, the point of baptism is to show your loyalty to God. Loyalty is a bad word.
Okay,
You guys
yeah,
get the point.
I get that.
If you get baptized as a child, so let's put it this way: at 13 or 14, you get the mental capability of making your own decisions between right and wrong according to God. Right? It's around then that it's the cutoff point where you have to choose to be Christian, and it's the same ordeal with baptizing. If you are baptized before you are mature enough to make your own decisions between good and evil, then you're being baptized before you can properly choose to follow the Lord, and it doesn't really mean much. If you're baptized an infant, you have no idea what the Lord even is at that time.
Wait, so you said you have to wait until 13, 14?
No, you don't have to, but to make it properly, to make it to where you're telling God, I am giving my loyalty to you as a Christian,
Okay, so
you should... Go ahead.
Okay, so circumcision. That was Jews. That's how they entered into the covenant with God.
That
No. And you see scripture, they make the analogy of baptism to circumcision. So if you have to wait until you reach some specific age of mental reasoning, right, before you can be entered into the covenant, then I think that poses some serious issues for the concept of how the Jewish covenant worked.
That's not exactly how it works. I was Jewish before I was an atheist, and when you're having a circumcision, it's like the start of your deal with God. It's just the beginning according to your parents. But when you're 12 for girls or 13 for boys, that's when you actually make the pact with God if you choose to. It's called Aliyah Torah. And it's like a ceremony where you read from the Old Testament the chapter that you were given at birth based on your when you were born, and that's the actual pact. And also, some people said in chat about Jesus' baptism. He was born and died a Jew, and according to what I studied, I'm an English major. And we studied Christian narrative and stuff. And according to my teacher, who is a Christian, that set him as an example of a human. It's like he showed there is a pact with God, but he's also just human. He's a part of us. And people used to do it to shower or to feel cleaner, and that's where it began. To feel cleaner is also to feel cleaner from sins.
Renewed.
Yeah, exactly. So it does make sense.
So to finish my point, I can't personally comment on Jewish circumcision because I'm glad Village Girl came in to comment on that because I am not educated in that. But my point was, you can be baptized anytime by your parents. Right, but the point of baptization is it's not between your parents through you to God, it's between you and God. It's you telling God, this is my loyalty to you, I'm being reborn in your image. So I'm not saying you can't be born as baptized as a child. It's just best to wait until you can make that decision for yourself.
So I think I have just one major underlying issue with this is I think that seems to take a very individualistic view of the covenant, so to speak, right?
Right.
In scripture, Here, I'll give you an example. You remember the story of Cornelius, the Roman centurion? Like I think he was the first Roman to convert or whatever.
Give me a refresh. It's not ringing
Okay,
any
so
bells.
basically, he was a God-fearing man, right? And
right,
he wasn't Christian yet, obviously, but he worshipped God and stuff. And then one day he received a vision from an angel, and the angel told him seek out a man named Peter, like Saint Peter, that is. So he sends I guess soldiers or guards or whatever to go fetch Peter. Peter receives a vision from God.
All right, Sean, I'll ask that question after we're done with this debate. All right, thank you so much for the participation.
When Saint Peter goes to his house, the centurion's house, right?
Right.
And the centurion declares his faith, and he gets baptized. It makes a comment that the entire household got baptized alongside. Wait, hold up, my dad's entering.
You're good. Just wait a moment for him.
If you want to know, it's Acts 10 is the.
Okay.
I gotta go grab something real quick. But what I'm getting at more or less is that you see in scripture that it seems to be the case that, how do I say this? That covenants you can receive the covenant simply by being part of a covenant family, so to speak. That's not necessarily the case that.
Well, and I understand where you're coming from with that, but it is still important to have, yes, an individualistic relationship with God. Yes, you can have a relationship with him as a group of people, but it is still very important that there's something strong between you and him.
Sean, if you have any comments about the stream or anything that you would like us to improve for next time, please do tell us. Just tell us any comments you have. Thank you.
Go to church. Individualism is not the way to go at all, but there still is some involved.
Well, arguably, you should go to church to receive the sacraments. But I'll touch on that when I get back.
Not just that, but that also is one of the commandments, keeping the holy day Sabbath.
Going to church will also help you learn more about God. If you do it yourself, you're not going to learn as much. Because, trust me, without my pastor, I'd be lost. There's plenty of things in the Bible where I read it and did not understand it.
Yeah, and it's the same for me.
It's the same for Muslims
I
as well, I feel
haven't been to
like.
church per se, but I've been to like a district server where they do Bible studies, and without the body of that.
But of course, we don't have
Christ,
pastors,
I would
obviously.
definitely not know as much.
Yeah, I guess having like a sheikh to
So
help you
will cover to
study
cover.
the
and there's
Quran.
I
still
feel like
things you just
we
don't
won't
understand.
we won't know a lot of, but I feel like the Shia is like good enough to study by yourself. You know what I mean?
Unless
But
you have like a professional with you, you
I
won't
feel like Sheikh
understand
would
them.
help though.
That was one of the reasons I originally became pretty distant from religion.
Right.
But I live in Israel and we learn Bible studies,
Oh
and
my
we also
God.
learn some
Wow.
of the Quran.
Well,
And when we actually had like a kind of step-by-step guidance for the Bible, I looked at it as like this great literary piece. And it's amazing, but I didn't feel the connection. And I think that if you feel the connection, you have to keep it.
Exactly.
I think nurturing it and like making sure everything is still like good. It's like a relationship, and you have to put effort into making sure everything is still okay.
Right, that's also a reason that you have to find a good pastor. You have to find a pastor that resonates with you. Now, I'm not saying ignore those pastors that don't speak to your heart specifically. Every pastor has a word for you, but you have to find that one pastor that really gets to you. Like, I changed churches that I go to because, don't get me wrong, the first church I went to was great, but I went to another church with a friend of mine just to go with him, and the pastor there hit me hard. Like, and you go to the church you go to for a reason, so I'm not saying it was a mistake to go to my first church, but God will send you where you are meant to go, and you'll know.
Yeah.
Another thing to touch on that. Never mind. That point has just slipped my mind, so we'll just continue.
Does anyone
It's
have...
okay, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
We were talking about how
basically
important it
religion.
is.
I
We were talking about how important it is to find a preacher that resonates with you, so he can help you understand the Bible.
are you
I see.
are you guys done with this
Super.
point, or can I ask a
Well,
question?
Wait, I have a question for Super. Is because me and Super have the back and forths constantly, right? About the
Yeah,
contradiction.
yeah.
Okay.
All right,
So
shoot.
so two king. Is it like two king? Like one in yeah?
First
Not
and
wrong.
Second Kings.
Yeah. Okay. So Second Kings, chapter 24, verse 8. Right.
Let me ask, is this the bath thing again?
Oh no no
Or-
no! It's not the
Okay.
bath.
Wait. Okay. Let me pull it up. Second Kings.
Yeah. Second
8.
Kings, 24, chapter
Oh,
24, verse
24
8.
8. Okay.
Chapter 20. Yeah, 24 8.
All right.
Where was that story within Acts, by the way? The story of the centurion.
I forget.
Acts 10. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I think I see where this is going,
Yeah.
but
Could-
I
could
don't.
you read that for the crowd?
Okay. Oh gosh, I have to pronounce these Hebrew names.
Yeah, I don't know how
Yeah,
to
bro,
say
I'll
it.
take a little
That's why I
break and
got
I'll be back.
Okay.
Alright.
Jehoiakim was 18 years
Nearly
old when he
got it.
became king, and he reigned 3 months in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Nehushta, the daughter of
Oh, just that
Elnathan.
part. Just that part. Just that part.
That part?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the
He reigned
18
3
he reigned
months.
for 3 months. Right. Now, go to 2 Chronicles, 36.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is where I thought this was going.
Yeah.
Second Chronicles, where?
36 9. So chapter
36,
36,
okay,
verse 9.
All right. Jehoiakim was 18 years old when he became king, and he reigned 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord.
Huh? Wait, is that 18? Why is
Yeah,
it 18?
it says here Jehoiakim was 18 years old.
Subway,
when-
bro, you're such a bad.
What do you mean? It says 8. It says 8 on my thing.
I know, I know, I
Which-
know. It's contradiction, man. It's a difference in age or ruling. I heard of it.
Which translation are you using?
King James, the new King.
Why are you using King James?
King James is the most popular one, but I can open my Old Testament in Hebrew and fact check it if you want to.
So
Yeah.
basically, all the standard versions say 18, but then you have the both
Right.
King James say 8. The NASAB, I don't know what that is. Both of them say 8, right?
Wait, so you're getting at
The
wait,
American
this
Standard Version says 8, so there's contradiction whether it's 8 or 18.
Probably
between
a
translations or
oddly enough, and there are very few, but it was probably a translation issue. That's what I would
because
think.
if different translations of the original
Yeah.
text are what are
Ex-
saying different
And
things.
when it's
then-
translated from one language to another,
Right,
I've
okay.
heard of numbers getting mixed up all the time. Because sometimes numbers can be so similar to each other in some
Just
languages.
look at the
I never
Hebrew.
use
Look at the
numbers
Hebrew.
to contradict the Bible, right?
Subway. Look at the Hebrew and Latin. I mean Hebrew and Greek.
Okay, it
then verify
says
it from there.
من
What verse
شمال
is that, if you
شناير
don't
الحين
mind me
بالملخوف.
asking?
Okay, he was 18 and he ruled for 3 months, according to the Hebrew version.
Okay, and what does Second Chronicles say? And 36.
Where are we? I can look in my version, which is the New Revised Standard.
Well, she's reading the Hebrew. Is the
Let's look at the Hebrew. It's more valid.
actually
Right.
look at the Greek, the Septuagint.
Damn.
Okay.
No,
Subway.
that was-
What other verse? Subway. What? Yeah. What's the other one?
It's 2 Kings 24:8, and then the other one is Chronicles 36:9.
Okay, I'll look at the Hebrew.
I didn't have dinner in front of me. I'd go grab my Latin Bible, but
So
That's it.
when you're talking about the scripture context, make sure you don't have like a biased mindset to it.
3 months and 10 days. That's the Hebrew. Old, 8 years old. Yeah, 8. Yeah, he was 8 years old. He became king 3 months and 10 days. Yeah, 8. He was 8.
Yeah, see, but then in Kings 2:24:8 it says 18.
Yeah, bro. No, the contradiction arguments, man, I have just stacking up.
I think we all know we're not gonna get where with that.
Well, it's a
think
very minor
confusing
contradiction. It's just an age mistake.
No,
I
it's-
also think I know where it's coming from.
I'll tell you this,
Usually,
Hamza, it's not just an age mistake. I'll tell you that. If a god was perfect, he wouldn't make a mistake.
Well, I understand that, but remember, translation.
No, this
Humans
is Hebrew.
translated the
This
Bible.
is Hebrew. So you're saying God didn't preserve His word, and He allowed
Oh,
the
you're in the
Bible.
Hebrew one. Oh, never mind,
Yeah.
never mind.
The issue is
I
Christians
thought
and
Village
Muslims
was the one
have
reading from the
a
Hebrew.
different
Okay,
conception of
perfect.
how God preserves His word.
Wait, Super, can you
No.
Super, can you
Yeah.
please tell us the deity of the essence from that point of view?
Oh my gosh.
Not again, Renegade. Not again.
All right. Okay. Absolute divine
Renegade,
simplicity. Is that
okay.
what you're thinking of? Renegade.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
You're thinking of absolute divine simplicity.
Well, you have to like seriously when you're talking about divine simplicity, not everyone has the same interpretation. You, you need to like have like you need to agree that it has the same definition for everybody. Just like yesterday, a guy came in yesterday saying that it's this with anarchy, but in reality there's multiple definitions from that one word.
Right.
From now on, I never know whether you're like actually speaking.
I know.
Or just like
back, brother.
messing around.
No,
I can
okay.
never tell because it's the exact same tone.
Hey, can I?
A lot of people have that problem with me. My sarcasm is just too good sometimes.
My friends always complain like whenever I genuinely get mad at them, they're like, "How are we supposed to know?" Like when I scream at you, kind of mad.
SMG, what were you gonna say?
If you guys done with your point, I actually have another question here.
Go ahead.
Hold up, I'm typing something real quick.
All right, so it says here, do you consider Catholicism, Baptist and Methodist, etc., to be Christianity? And if so, how do you differentiate these religions versus Christianity?
You mean Catholic?
Catholicism, yeah. So one, they're different denominations, and two, different traditions that follow the same book. Remember, traditions and God's will are two different things. Traditions is just the way humans decide to do it, and the Jews had many of them, as far as I'm aware.
That's not entirely like the Christian understanding of what tradition is, though.
Traditions of men is what you.
For
yeah.
In like Catholicism, Orthodoxy, so forth. When we say tradition, we're referring to apostolic tradition, as it's called. Like, okay, so I'll speak from Orthodoxy actually. That was kind of more Catholic.
Well, yeah. When I refer to
so
traditions,
you have what's called just overall tradition. This is the source of all our teachings on Christianity, right? And then you divide this into two sections: written tradition and oral tradition of the apostles. The written tradition of the apostles, that's like the Bible, stuff that the apostles wrote, and we read that and whatnot. Oral tradition is the stuff that they taught but didn't necessarily write down in like a gospel or epistle or so forth.
Yeah, I don't,
Oh yeah, you're
I feel like that's kind of
What is
men.
Does
when
that
I
answer
say
your question?
tradition, I'm talking about man-made.
Sean, does that answer your question?
As I've been told, God said that the Bible is complete. So if it was not written in there, then it is not of command.
But the thing is,
so oral tradition is less important than written tradition in this case.
Which is why I put relationship
Actually,
over religion.
The issue with that, hold on, wait, yeah, you can go.
No, it's okay. You finish and then I'll.
Okay, all right. The issue with that is that what you said, plastic, that presupposes a Protestant understanding of what, like, God's word is, like a Protestant understanding of Scripture and its relation to doctrine and whatnot. So I think, how do I phrase this? Basically, what I'm getting at, I think what you're saying is less so something that's like necessarily clearly stated in the Bible, more so something that's just a traditional Protestant interpretation of it. But that's not something they typically see in the more ancient churches, so to speak, like Catholicism and Orthodoxy and so forth.
There are traditions from the Bible that must be kept, yes. Like, the Sabbath is a major one. We'll use that as an example. But when I refer to tradition, and of course, remember, I'm from Oklahoma, Southern slang, stuff like that, things are different. tradition means like something passed down. It's man-made.
Oh no, yeah, like there's
Man-made
obviously that meaning
traditions
of,
are different.
there's that meaning too, but that would be lowercase t tradition.
Right. Right, exactly.
The thing is with man-made traditions is that it's built on our interpretation, our modern interpretation of like the holy, like books, every book. There's one sentence in the Old Testament, "לא תאכל גדי בחלב אמו," and suddenly we're not allowed to eat like meat and dairy together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and going
One
off from what she
phrase-
just said. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to give like an awful example, which is one of the things that made me like lose my faith, is like half a sentence that says, לא תעשור משכב זכר, and suddenly being gay is wrong. It means I'm not allowing like two men to sleep together. Like women is fine, men is not, because men can't bring children. And I find it weird that people.
Where is this?
I think it's
Village
one of the
Girl.
things.
Village. Are you referring to the Quran, or are you referring to the Christian
No,
Bible?
I think no, to the Old Testament. Like that's the book that I'm most familiar with because I grew up a Jew.
What verse and chapter?
I want you to go to the Christian Bible, and are you familiar with Leviticus?
No.
Okay, so Leviticus chapter 18 talks about on the rights and wrongs of love. I want you to take a look at that, and that's where the Christians' point of view comes from about their stance on the gays.
We got on a rabbit's trail away from the main question. SMG's questions were the differences between three different denominations and if they're Christian.
Yeah,
If they are Christian,
how do you?
We kind of got far from that.
Actually,
yeah, how do you separate
to
Christianity
answer
as
this
its own?
To answer this question,
Let
only...
SMG finish his.
Sorry.
No, all I'm saying is, how do you separate Christianity as its own religion if they are the same? Does that make sense?
Just
no, that doesn't make sense. Elaborate more.
So the question says here: do you consider Catholicism, Baptist, and Methodist, etc., to be Christianity? If so, how do you differentiate those religions versus Christianity as its own separate religion?
Only Catholics are Christian.
So
Catholic is the origins of Catholic. The Catholic Church is. Oh, sorry.
To the contrary.
My bad.
I'm Orthodox, so we'll say that we're original instead.
I'm
Anyways, to like genuinely answer the question,
I can answer it.
we'd say the traditional answer. If you hold to the Nicene Creed, then you are Christian. Whether now, of course, like coming from an Orthodox standpoint, or if I was a Catholic, right? We'd call for sake of ease, I'll just pretend I'm Catholic for a second, right? We'd call non-Catholic Christians heterodox, like of a differing opinion, right? That doesn't necessarily mean they're not Christian in a broad sense, because they still believe in the Trinity, they still worship the Trinity, so forth. But because they don't adhere to the church, because they don't adhere to like the, so to speak, like the like dogmatic interpretations and whatnot, because of that they'd be considered heterodox, but they'd still be Christian because they affirm the creed.
Essentially, they're all Christian. It's just different denominations.
I can say something about this actually. In John 8:31.
Very good question,
it
Sean.
says to Jews that
It's
to
pretty,
Jews who have
has a
believed
good
in
debate
Jesus,
on it.
If you hold to my teaching, you are really my disciples.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying is that yet again, if you don't believe in this Assyrian creed, you're not Christian now. Is that what you said, Super J? If you don't.
Yeah, I
hold
said
to
if you reject the Nicene Creed, you're not Christian.
Okay, so
in other words, if you reject the Trinity, you're not Christian.
Okay, so why Why can't it just be if you reject the Bible, then you're a Christian? Then? Why does it have to be some sort of decree or, and yet again, what I mean, tradition of men, a decree that's been made by men? Why is it not just the Bible instead? Because the Bible is the way. Not they don't need to. For me, I don't have to look at the historical stuff. Does definitely help. But yet again, this is the main problem I have.
Here's the issue, right? Okay, so you're saying why can't it just be if you reject the Bible then you're not Christian, right?
No. My question is like, why do you have to follow all these things, these decrees, all of that, when you could just follow the Bible and what it says about that?
Because things like the creed, they help us understand the true interpretation, so to speak, of Scripture. For example,
surely it's the Holy Spirit, not the.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
You would agree that there are non-Trinitarians who read the Bible, right?
Yes, they do.
Like Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons.
Yes, but do they have the spirit? Do they have the spirit of understanding from the Holy Spirit? I don't know about that one.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how do you know which group has the Holy Spirit when it comes to interpretation?
Yes, I have heard that before, and I know so I know where this is going. Because of the fruits of the fruits. That's why the fruits of the Spirit. That's how I can tell.
Okay, but surely you'd agree that they're righteous people, so to speak, right? Like people who do good work, so to speak.
Okay,
no
that's
matter
true,
the denomination.
they can do. It doesn't. They can do good works, but who are they? What's their fruits? That's the thing.
Good works are fruits.
No, they're not. Well, it depends. What do they? But okay, yeah.
Hey Sean, if you're interested in joining the debate, I can actually send you an invite link that will let you in.
So in Galatians 5:19, 19 through 23, it tells you the acts of the flesh, and then it tells you that acts. Let me just read the KJV version, standard. Okay.
Just before you continue, I'd like to say all of you are amazing, and I can't wait to talk to you again. But I have to go. It's 2 a.m. I just realized that.
Dang.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. here.
It was like
you're all super bright.
I logged off at like 4:40 a.m. last night, and this morning was dreadful.
Yeah, debating is fun. Good luck, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. See you.
Sleep
Have a
well.
good day.
In a final exam, because I have a final exam in like couple hours, and I have.
Why are you not, brother? Why are you not studying, brother? Go on now.
Hey, I have Google. What do I
you don't need to study, خلاص. You have Google.
You see?
Yeah.
Google answers everything.
Facts.
من
غشنا فليس منا, brother.
Allah, bro, I swear to God, I hated whenever my religion teacher would use
It's funny, yeah, because it doesn't.
What translates to is the one who cheats is not from us, right?
Yeah.
And whenever we cheat in an exam, the teacher would scare us by saying that's what
Oh my
he
God.
means by cheating.
Yeah.
Right? He'd say like we're gonna go to hell because we cheated.
And it's like nah, man.
Okay, never mind. At the end, he had to explain to us. Otherwise,
But was he or she wrong though?
Yes.
She is, yeah. She is.
Someone out of their money.
Actually, cheating on tests is a mortal sin. If you commit it, you're automatically damned to hell.
Bruh.
Yeah.
If I have an online, if I'm having an online test where Google is in front of me, I'm using it, brother. I think the educational.
Google, bro. I have the smart kids who actually bother to sending their answers.
I feel it's like why you not?
But if it's a mortal sin to cheat, then is it a mortal sin to make tests impossible?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Oh, sheesh.
What a question.
What a question.
I mean, you know there's teachers that purposely make their tests hard to fail.
Oh, all of them do.
Say that, but the thing is, my school, the teachers don't make it. There's like a head administrator.
Oh, it's even harder.
All the schools, so
it's even
we're all
harder.
the same.
Yeah.
So like, and the issue with that is this year they decided to be smart and they made 3 different versions of the same exam. So you just had to cross your fingers and like pray that you're in it, have the same version as a smart guy, and I did, and blessed.
I think the educational system is rigged anyway, so trash.
So, let's go back to the days of trial and error instead of education.
Papyrus, the days of papyrus.
Yeah, papyrus.
Dude, the American education system's so screwed up.
Yeah.
I had to write an essay about that. Don't even get me started.
Oh wait, there's a question.
Like,
So we have a question.
I have met.
Guys, we have a question.
We have a question.
Yeah. There's a.
So we have a question. It says in Islam, the person said, in Islam, Jesus was revered as a prophet, but not considered to be the Son of God. However, Jesus himself declared that his purpose in coming to earth as the Son of God was to die for people's sins. Thus, him falsely believing this would make him a liar or heretic. Why is he regarded as wise, even though his main teaching is completely disregarded in Islam?
Well, that's what you guys believe. You believe that he was sent
No,
down to,
yeah.
like, as the Son of God. We have a verse which I can pull up if you guys want. I don't have it on hand, like my head right now. I can search it up. But it basically it's like a conversation between both of them, and God asks, "Have you told the people that you should be worshipped along with the Virgin Mary?" Because some of them do, not all Christians, but some, But you know what I mean. Super, you were there for the conversation, so people idolize the Virgin Mary. So, anyways, and then he said, "No, I would not dare to do such a thing as to invoke your name as mine," right? So, in our belief, his purpose was to be a prophet, but not the Son of God. So that would contradict.
Exactly.
Adding to that, we think that the Bible has changed, so whatever's in the Bible is not really always evidence.
You can't apply what's in the Bible to what's in the Quran.
Yeah.
Is I think what he's trying to say.
We didn't
I have a
honestly.
question for you, Super.
Yeah.
And I have the Greek text pulled up because I know, like,
Oh my gosh.
those. You like those, right?
God have mercy.
Acts
Okay.
2:21, right? Acts
Okay,
2:21.
let me pull this up.
Let me read to you from the Greek translation, right? And it shall be everyone who, if they shall call upon the name of the Lord, will be saved.
Right. Yeah.
Now, Matthew 7:21 in Greek.
Matthew
Not
7.
everyone. Yeah, not everyone saying to me, "Lord, Lord," will enter into the kingdom of heaven.
No. Oh,
Okay, so this is actually
doing that.
Wait, okay. Wait,
Ah.
real quick, okay. So, I think this one will actually be decently easy to answer, right?
Yes.
Damn it! Why?
So-
Why? Oh my god! Every time I think I've like dodged you.
No, you haven't.
My
I can answer that one too.
Subway, I admire your persistence.
I will get it one time. I'm telling you.
One day.
One time, I will get like a one miscalculation, like a single letter change. Right?
Yeah,
like
no,
someone
I'll be like,
misspelled
oh,
the word
heck,
like
you
chair
got
or
me.
something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, so right, okay. So, my initial thoughts, right? So 21 says, "Whoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved," and then 21 it says, "Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven," but it goes on to say, "But the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven." So I think the contingency here, is right. Like, you don't like there are plenty of people who say Lord, but they don't mean it. Like, they're not actually like genuinely crying out to him, right? And they don't like live it out or whatever, right? So I think the
Like, because they cut up the verse,
Yeah.
that's why it sounds like it's wrong.
No, yeah, I see what you're
Trusting
getting.
Well,
websites
let's put it in the sense that there are.
All right, to anyone
people
who's
that believe
watching,
there is a God,
the
but
stream is
do
gonna
not
go on
worship
for
him.
30 more minutes.
Oh, I can
then we're gonna end this for the Logan fight.
pulled up.
So if you have any questions, any concerns, anything you want to say about the stream, the quality, for example, please say. Thank you.
Wait, hold on. Did you say Christian and Catholic?
No. Yeah,
Why
I did.
No,
All right, Josh.
the question said.
Josh,
The
you're
que-
excommunicated.
The
Go
question,
away.
guys. The question.
No. Question two.
Okay, go on
Answer
though.
the
I was just
question.
joking. Yeah.
Okay. Mark 7:8, King James Version. Okay. Then came together unto the Pharisees a certain of scribes which came from Jerusalem, and when they saw some of his disciples eat bread with defiled, that is to say, with unwashen hands, they found fault. For the Pharisees and all the Jews, except they wash their hands oft, eat not, holding to the tradition of elders. And when they come to the market, except they wash, they eat not, and many other things there be. which they have received to hold, as the washing of cups, pots, and brassen vessels and tables. Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, Why walk not thy disciples according to the tradition of elders, but eat bread with unwashen hands? He answered and said unto them, Well hath Esaias prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, this people honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines of commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold on to the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. And he said unto them, Full well ye reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own tradition. So I'm saying is, it answers both. Answers one, which is the Catholic thing too, and also answers the one where it's people that cry, Lord, Lord, like we're not into heaven. They don't follow in the word of God at all. They honor with their lips, saying, "Oh Lord, Lord," but they don't really. Their heart's not even there. And there's plenty of also state that too about if you love the world, the love of the Father is not in you. So there's that, and also one in John 8:30. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
While he finds that, it's also the idea of cherry pickers, where people can follow the ideas and the teachings of the Bible with not actually respecting the God that wrote it.
Okay, so this is a directed question to the Muslims in the call. Bonzi asks, how come in Islam you are permitted to have, quote, many wives?
Say that again?
Because they follow after our glorious
Bonzi?
prophet Joseph Smith.
Wait,
Bonzi asks in debate questions, how come in Islam you are permitted to have, quote, many wives?
no, we can have we can have 4 wives. Yeah.
As a maximum.
Yeah, we're allowed to have 4 as a maximum.
There's also
Why?
there's also
Why is 4 as a maximum?
Why 4 at all?
Why would you want more than one? Is the question.
The Quran says, or the tradition says, basically, you could marry 4, but it's if you can't fulfill the rights of 4, then it's better to marry 1. So the God is mainly telling us to marry 1, but if let's say there was some like imams give the example, if there was like a war, the men go out and fight, and then the women, let's say a lot of them die. Now the women outnumber the men. Some men in the society will have to carry the burden, assuming they're financially capable and that they can fulfill the rights of multiple wives. They will have to carry the burden of marrying more than one wife and kind of giving these women, kind of the rights of the wife and so on. So it's the exception, not the rule, and it's for like very specific people and in very specific situations.
Also, you have to understand the reasons why people marry for us, yeah. So one, it's like for protection. I'm reading them out here. Protection against physical, moral, and spiritual ailments, right? So like, let's say if you were to have a religious wife, you would prosper religiously together, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then you have another reason is continuation of human life, as in more reproduction, more humans, therefore increased population. For example, of Muslims.
I have a rebuttal. Well, there's a rebuttal in the question. It says, will Skid ask, then why did Muhammad have more than 4?
That I also have an answer to, right? So basically, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yes, he had more than 4, but that was before the revelation of the verse which banned more than 4. So this was a precursor, right? So at the time, he did not know, because he's not all-knowing. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not all-knowing. God is all-knowing, right? So he had more than 4 wives. Then the verse was sent down after his marriage of more than 4 wives, right? But back to there's other reasons. So growth of relations and love of compassion. Sorry.
Like I have a thing to that actually.
So that's where I'm coming in. I may interject.
Is it okay if I go renegade first? I've got to go.
Okay, go ahead.
So for me, it's another case where four wives, as we see it in Christianity, it's adultery. And again, it's a case of where, for many on that day, I would say, Lord, Lord, because again, Muslims, you believe in the Father, again, but the Father cannot look at sin without Jesus Christ, which is again another thing, which is what I mean by where it said. Let me bring up the verse. For many on that day.
So while Josh thinks about that question, this is a serious question on my end. I'm not trying to talk. I'm not trying to bicker or whatnot. But if you're allowed to have four, are you allowed to do it with all four at the same time?
No. No. Threesomes and foursomes. No. No go.
No, yeah, no. You can't because they can't. They're not. The wives aren't married to each other, so they can't see each other's parts or touch them. You understand what I'm saying?
It seems like you're defiling your body by the covenant between male and female. When you're making,
it's a covenant between you and your wife.
A woman can't. A woman can't see another woman. In general.
It's a covenant between wife, man, wife, not man with
No,
wife.
in a sexual
so
way.
What I'm saying is, when you're breaking,
I don't know.
that covenant,
I thought it was understanding, but cool.
more than your wife if you're marrying them.
Okay, thank you.
So again, it's a case of where that's adultery right there. That's adultery, right?
Yeah.
So
if you just
when
marry them,
come
you're saying it's adultery if you marry them and have sex with all four at the same time?
No. It's adultery if you marry four. Quite simple.
He's saying from the Christian perspective. Yeah.
Oh, from the Christian. Okay, from the Islamic perspective.
So I'm saying is in Matthew 7:22, as we said before, many will say on that to me, Lord, Lord, did you not do this and that and perform many miracles? It's yet again a case of where the Muslims obviously believe in the Father, right?
Yeah.
So many on that day would say, Lord, Lord, did we not do this and that? And then I never knew you, away from me, evildoers, essentially saying you did adultery. There, you didn't believe in Jesus, which means there's no penalty for your sin. There's no price. There's no payment, which means you're an evildoer then, because there's no repentance, there's no nothing. That's what I'm getting at. It's again linked. It's all linking to the same verse. Of a case where these things this thing as we see it is adultery. And what's going to happen is exactly that. You're going to see the Father, and He's going to say, "No, because you didn't believe on my Son, Jesus Christ." And He'll say, "I never knew this." This is what I'm getting at.
Alright, I think I'm going to end the stream here.
Yeah.
Right? Omar?
Whatever you like, bro.
I think I'm going to end the stream here. We've talked about a lot of things. It's been almost 3 hours at this point. Oh, it has been 3 hours. So thank you for everyone that tuned in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the participation in the comments. We'll make sure to make more of these debates. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your hosts, SMG Clicks and Omar. See you guys next time.
Actually...
What? Yeah?
Actually, I'd like to note that in some marriages,